Junlingyi, a quirky modern girl, inexplicably travels back to ancient times. But what she gets is a script for a cliché copyright, unlucky drama. Not only does she have to enter a warding off marriage, she also has to be a mother. She doesn't want such a great opportunity. So, Junlingyi secretly escapes from the Jun Manor. Unexpectedly, she runs into a severely injured man. And what a coincidence. This man is none other than the person Junlingyi is supposed to marry to ward off bad luck. Junlingyi still couldn't escape her fate of a warding off marriage. It's just that this cold-faced prince gets handsy with her at the slightest disagreement. He either caresses Junlingyi's cheek or pins Junlingyi down on the bed. This gives Junlingyi a huge headache. An unexpected warding off marriage alliance binds the fates of Junlingyi and Qin Ji together. A few days ago, the Jun Manor was decorated with lanterns and banners, and the servants were gossiping. They said the Prince of Pingxi joined the army at 10, and in 15 years, he dominated the battlefield, earning the titles of Prince and Marquis, making him incredibly prestigious. The second miss of the Jun family is of Shu descent. Marrying the Prince of Pingxi is truly a leap up the social ladder. If the Prince of Pingxi hadn't gone missing on the battlefield, the Empress Dowager wouldn't be looking for someone for a warding off marriage. Coincidentally, the second Mrs. Birth characters were chosen. Such a wonderful thing would never have fallen into Junlingyi's lap. However, Junlingyi didn't think so. At this moment, she had changed into servant's clothes and was secretly sneaking out of the manor. Unfortunately, she was spotted by a young servant working outside the gate, who asked where she was going. Junlingyi wiped the sweat from her brow and told them the housekeeper had sent her out to buy something. She complained that the wedding was too rushed. They were getting married tomorrow, and now they had to work late into the night. She said she would buy some wine while she was out for everyone to drink together. With that, she managed to get away. Once outside, Junlingyi took off her outer coat, thinking she would never come back. Since so many people thought marrying the Prince of Pingxi was a good thing, then they could marry him instead. A warding off marriage. What if he dies? Then Junlingyi would be in a ghost marriage and have to live as a widow. What's more, he has a 5-year-old illegitimate son. She would have to be a stepmother the moment she walked in the door. It's terrifying just thinking about it. As a modern person, how could Junlingyi bear to spend the rest of her life with an ancestral tablet? Junlingyi thought that even if she starved to death outside, she would never compromise and marry him. Besides, Junlingyi had Yin Ning, her big cash cow. She definitely wouldn't starve. Junlingyi hummed a little tune as she walked towards the city gate. But just then, a large object fell from the sky. It startled Junlingyi. Taking a closer look, she saw it was a person. The man lay weakly on the ground, bleeding. He looked seriously injured. Junlingyi thought about not getting involved. Her priority was to escape her marriage. She couldn't even take care of herself, let alone others. She had just taken a few steps forward when she heard a cough from behind. In the end, Junlingyi couldn't bear to leave him. After all, this was a living human life. When she got closer, she saw he was actually a handsome man. Junlingyi helped the man up. The man warily grabbed Junlingyi's hand, looking as if he knew her. This confused Junlingyi. She thought he had hit his head and was talking nonsense. Before they had walked more than a few steps, they heard the sounds of pursuers. Qin Ji knew these people were after him. With Junlingyi by his side, she would be a burden. So, Qin Ji wanted Junlingyi to leave. But Junlingyi pushed Qin Ji against the wall. She let her hair down, pressed herself against Qin Ji, and called out, "My dear." This action confused Qin Ji. His body stiffened, and he told Junlingyi to let go. Junlingyi whispered in Qin Ji's ear, telling him to play along. Qin Ji immediately understood. He wrapped his arm around Junlingyi's waist, spun around, and pushed Junlingyi against the wall, striking an intimate pose. When the pursuers saw this, they thought it was a pair of illicit lovers unable to control their passion and turned to leave. Seeing the assassins were gone, Junlingyi glared at Qin Ji with puffed cheeks, telling him to get up. Qin Ji's lips brushed against Junlingyi's cheek. He reached out and caressed it, making Junlingyi's face flush and her heart race. He asked what she had just called him. Qin Ji didn't know who this dear was, nor did he know if Junlingyi truly didn't remember him. Junlingyi shoved Qin Ji away, cursing him for being an old pervert. She had saved him, yet he was groping her and taking advantage of her. But Qin Ji was injured and very weak. He suddenly collapsed to the ground. Junlingyi thought Qin Ji was trying to scam her. She went over and called his name a few times. She found he had really fainted. Well, in for a penny in for a pound. Junlingyi tied up her hair, preparing to take Qin to a clinic. At the clinic, after examining the injuries, the doctor stroked his beard and told Junlingyi he could treat him, but he needed 2 taels of silver first. Junlingyi was unhappy with the high price. Wasn't this robbery? The doctor told Junlingyi that Qin was severely injured. This was the price to save his life, and it was already very cheap. Junlingyi told the doctor to wait. Seeing that Qin was well-dressed, she figured he should have some money. The money to save his life should come from him. So, Junlingyi started searching Qin body. Junlingyi stripped off Qin upper garment, complimenting his nice physique. She continued searching and finally found a money pouch. The doctor watched dumbfounded. He had never seen a woman as bold as Junlingyi. Junlingyi opened the pouch and looked inside. There were only 5 taels of silver, which disappointed her. She thought Qin would have a lot of money. So she handed 2 taels of silver to the doctor, telling him to treat the man well and send him home after he recovered. As for the remaining 3 taels, Junlingyi planned to keep them for herself as a reward for saving him. Then, she happily prepared to go find Ning. But servants from a Jun family appeared at the door and blocked Junlingyi's path. They forcibly took Junlingyi back to the Jun family. Despite Junlingyi's reluctance, it was all in vain. The next day, in front of the prince of Pingshi's manor, firecrackers went off. A red bridal sedan, red decorations. It was very lively. The matchmaker lifted the door curtain. She handed a rooster to Junlingyi, telling her to hold her husband tight. Junlingyi was speechless. She never thought that in her lifetime, she would have the experience of marrying a rooster. She was undoubtedly the most miserable time traveler of the year. Junlingyi tragically completed the wedding ceremony with the rooster and was then sent to the bridal chamber. Junlingyi was pushed and staggered. She thought to herself that she absolutely could not just sit and wait for her doom. She took off the hair ornaments on her head, thinking that if Ning couldn't meet her, he would surely come into the city to investigate. Later, she would send a message to Ning and also formulate an escape plan. From outside the door came the sound of servants calling for the prince. Junlingyi thought news of Qin's death had arrived. She pressed her ear to the door to listen carefully, thinking that if Qin was really dead, it wouldn't be impossible for her to escape in the chaos. The door was suddenly pushed open, and Junlingyi fell to the ground. She saw that the man standing at the door was the one she had saved last night. Junlingyi subconsciously asked, "Qin, you're not dead?" Qin closed the door. His tone was unreadable as he asked back, "Do you wish I were dead?" Junlingyi, flustered, stood up and pointed randomly, telling Qin she was talking about a mosquito. There were too many mosquitoes at night, and she couldn't kill them. It was such a headache. Then she smiled sweetly at Qin, but in her mind, she was scheming. So, the one she saved yesterday was the prince of Pingxi, Qin. Considering she saved his life last night, he probably wouldn't refuse if she proposed a divorce. So, Junlingyi looked at Qin with a serious face and told him this marriage was arranged to ward off bad luck for him. Now that Qin has returned safely, she should be able to retire with her mission accomplished. After all, she and Qin didn't know each other. Forcing them together wouldn't be harmonious. It would be better to part ways amicably and divorce early. But Qin was puzzled. Junlingyi, he said, she didn't know him. He clearly remembered her face and voice. The person from 5 years ago was her, without a doubt. But she didn't remember him. Junlingyi suspected she had misspoken and quickly changed her tune, saying they didn't know each other. They had just met yesterday. She saved Qin yesterday, so logically and emotionally, Qin should repay her. She had no other request than to leave the prince's manor. The more Qin listened, the colder his gaze became. Junlingyi was a little scared. Qin moved closer to Junlingyi, asking her, since she saved him yesterday, she must have been the one who took off his clothes. Junlingyi stammered, telling Qin she had no choice but to do it to get the money for his treatment. Qin grabbed Junlingyi's wrist. No one had ever dared to treat him like this. It was truly punishable. Now, they needed to settle this score properly. Qin pushed Junlingyi onto the bed and slowly moved closer to her. Junlingyi felt a little regretful. If she had known this would happen, she shouldn't have coveted Qin's 3 taels of silver yesterday. Just then, there was a knock on the door. It was Junlingyi's dowry maid, Tao. She was here to bring some wine for the prince and princess. Junlingyi looked at Tao with pleading eyes, but Tao didn't notice. She introduced the wine, called warm affection, which could be used as an aphrodisiac. Qinji was a little displeased and told Tao to hurry up. Tao quickly put down the wine, carried the rooster out, and left. However, the door was not closed tightly. Qinji continued to look at Junlingyi, thinking she had a mole on her shoulder. As long as he saw it, he could confirm whether the person in front of him was really her. Junlingyi shyly turned her head away to avoid Qinji. But then Qinji saw someone drinking the wine. Qinji thought Junlingyi wanted him to drink it, but he didn't need wine as an aphrodisiac. Junlingyi couldn't watch anymore and quickly got up, seeing Junlingyi's movement. Qinji then realized it was Mu Yan. Mu Yan was holding the wine cup, gulping it down. Drunk, he was about to fall off the chair. Qinji rushed over and caught Mu Yan, anxiously telling someone to fetch the imperial physician. In the room, Mu Yan was sleeping soundly. Qinji worriedly asked the imperial physician about Mu Yan's current condition. The doctor told Qinji that the wine was heating, but fortunately, the young heir didn't drink much. He would prescribe a few doses of sobering medicine. Once the young heir rested well and drank the medicine, he would be fine. Tao was terrified at the side. It was all because she went to deliver the rooster and left the doorway, failing to watch the young heir. It wasn't her intention to let the young heir sneak in and drink the wine. Tao quickly knelt to admit her mistake. Qinji was furious and wanted to have Tao dragged out. Junlingyi stopped Qinji and pleaded for Tao. Tao was her dowry maid, only recently bought by the Jun Manor and hadn't been properly trained yet. That's why she wasn't so meticulous. Besides, she was the only maid she brought with her. Junlingyi looked at Qinji pitifully, wanting him to let Tao stay. Qinji had a headache, but still agreed. However, Tao needed to go and learn etiquette. She would be sent back only when she had learned it. He himself would also stay at the young heir Zhan Chun Hall for the night. Qinji picked up the young heir and walked out the door. He told Junlingyi to sleep by herself. Junlingyi felt like a blessing had fallen from the sky. Once Qinji was completely gone, Junlingyi let out a breath. Then she happily plopped onto the bed. Not having to deal with Qinji made Junlingyi very happy. After all, Qinji had been handsy with her multiple times. In Junlingyi's heart, Qinji was a perverted prince. She had been up all night and busy all day. Junlingyi lay on the bed and yawned. At this moment, Junlingyi was really getting sleepy. Thinking that Qinji was worried about Mu Yan and probably wouldn't come back, Junlingyi gradually fell asleep. Late at night, Qinji came over after all. Looking at Junlingyi's sleeping face, Qinji was still very puzzled. The same face, the same voice, yet she alone had forgotten him. Was Junlingyi really her or not? Qinji moved his hand closer to Junlingyi, wanted to see her shoulder, but his hand was caught by Junlingyi. Qinji thought he had been discovered, but Junlingyi just smacked her lips, turned over, and was still not awake. Qinji tried to pull his hand out, but Junlingyi tugged on it again. Losing his balance, he fell forward. Junlingyi grabbed Qinji's arm and took a big bite. She mumbled, "This KFC-style drumstick. Why does it taste different?" Qinji looked bewildered. Then Junlingyi turned over again, curling herself into a ball, feeling a bit cold. Qinji pulled the blanket over Junlingyi and lay down on the outer side of the bed. Looking at Junlingyi, he thought, she always says strange things. That part is the same as her. But if Junlingyi is her, why would she have forgotten him? The next morning, Junlingyi woke up. She had planned to take a short nap and then sneak away in the middle of the night, but she had slept so soundly that it was already daylight when she woke up. What a miscalculation. Thinking that Qinji should still be at Zhan Chun Hall taking care of the young heir, he probably wouldn't have time to bother with her. It shouldn't be too late to find a way to sneak out now. So, Junlingyi slipped into the laundry yard. Seeing no one inside, Junlingyi quickly pulled down a piece of clothing and put it on. But just as she finished preparing, two maids discovered Junlingyi. Seeing the unfamiliar back, the two maids asked who she was and why she was here. Junlingyi turned her head, thinking this was bad. But one of the maids suddenly spoke up, inadvertently giving her an excuse. The maid thought Junlingyi was the newcomer the housekeeper said was arriving yesterday. Junlingyi quickly nodded, but then the maid shoved Junlingyi aside, telling her there were rules here. On the first day, newcomers had to wash all the clothes. Junlingyi obediently agreed, but she was cursing inwardly. She thought she could placate them and then slip away. Unexpectedly, the maid actually wanted to watch her wash the clothes. Faced with a basin overflowing with clothes, Junlingyi was dumbfounded. She had been too careless. Junlingyi sat on a stool, washing clothes while thinking, there's no difficult job, only a person determined to escape. The two maids found it boring to watch Junlingyi wash clothes. Thinking Junlingyi probably couldn't cause any trouble, the two chatted and laughed, planning to leave. They were going to sneak out through the dog hole in the west corner. Hearing their conversation, Junlingyi had a flash of inspiration. A dog hole was great. She could wait until night and escape through the dog hole. Before leaving, the two maids viciously warned Junlingyi not to be lazy. If they came back and found that Junlingyi hadn't finished, she would be in for it. Junlingyi quickly agreed, reassuring them that she would definitely finish washing everything. After they left, Junlingyi picked up a piece of clothing, thinking, how dare they bully a newcomer? She would see if they dared to do it again in the future. So she deliberately tore the clothes. Yinling's voice came from above. Junlingyi looked back and was pleasantly surprised. The youthful-looking man before her was none other than Yinling. Yinling agilely jumped down from the courtyard wall. Junlingyi pinched Yinling's ear, scolding him that she had told him many times not to call her sister. Yinling cried out in pain, quickly begging for mercy that the gentleman uses his words, not his fists, he said, asking Junlingyi to let him go. But Junlingyi wasn't buying it. Yinling's biological age was already 23 years older than her. He shouldn't act cute in front of her just because he looked young. Yinling quickly admitted his mistake and called her little sister instead. Finally released, Yinling rubbed his ear, his tone a little dejected. He had come specially to see Junlingyi, but he didn't expect to be greeted like this. Junlingyi glared at Yinling, and Yinling immediately behaved. They had agreed to escape the day before yesterday, but Yinling waited for Junlingyi outside the city all night. He only found out after entering the city that Junlingyi had already married into the prince's manor. Yinling cleared his throat seriously and asked Junlingyi, they say the Prince of Pingxi is powerful and handsome. You haven't changed your mind and decided not to leave, have you? Junlingyi scoffed. How is that possible? There was a reason she couldn't escape in time before. She told Yinling to keep the fake identity he made for her. She would sneak out in a couple of days. Yinling was skeptical. The manor's guards were strict, and Junlingyi didn't know martial arts. How could she escape? Junlingyi thought that if she told Yinling about crawling through a dog hole, he would probably laugh at her. That would be too embarrassing. So she vaguely told Yinling that she had another way. Who knew that the two maids would return? While Junlingyi was in a daze, Yinling escaped. His speed made Junlingyi very envious. If she knew martial arts, why would she need to crawl through a dog hole? The maid pointed at Junlingyi and questioned her. She had just heard a man's voice. Was she meeting a man in private? Of course, Junlingyi denied it. But the maid didn't believe her. She gritted her teeth. To dare to meet a man in private during work hours. So she grabbed Junlingyi, intending to take her to matron's son to be dealt with properly. Junlingyi was also getting angry. She shook off the maid's hand and questioned them. So, you're not allowed to do other things during work hours? Then what were you two doing just now? Weren't you preparing a sneak out through the dog hole in the west corner to have fun? Just then, Qingji and do you also arrive at the laundry yard? Qingji asked them, who did you just say was meeting a man in private? The two maids quickly curtsied. They pointed at Junlingyi and told Qingji it was this newcomer meeting a man in private. It has nothing to do with us. Qingji approached Junlingyi with an oppressive aura, asking her if that was really the case. Junlingyi did not admit it. When the maids heard Qingji called Junlingyi princess consort, they were stunned. Qingji pinched Junlingyi's chin and told her to explain. What are you doing here, dressed like this? Junlingyi screamed internally. This was too unlucky. She was caught by Qingji while trying to escape. How was she going to explain this? Junlingyi was worrying about what to do when she suddenly saw a wooden basin not far away, filled with many dirty clothes. Junlingyi had a flash of inspiration. Yesterday, Your Highness, spare my maid. I am very grateful. So, why don't I help Your Highness wash some dirty clothes? Junlingyi picked up a piece of clothing and started washing with her head down. But a pair of hands reached over. It was Qingji. Qingji picked up the washed clothes and saw they had been washed into two halves. He was puzzled. Was Junlingyi repaying him or getting revenge on him? Why were his clothes all washed into two pieces? Junlingyi gave an awkward laugh and told Qingji it was an accident. Those maids told her to wash everything in one basin, so she didn't expect Qingji's clothes to be so delicate that they would be washed to pieces so easily. Junlingyi looked at Qin Ji pitifully. But Qin Ji sensed something was wrong. He looked at the maids and reprimanded them. You actually made the princess consort wash clothes for you? What's more, were you planning to crawl out through the dog hole? The maids were so scared they knelt on the ground, begging for mercy, stammering incoherently. Qin Ji looked at Duyu at the side and told him to seal the dog hole and then take the two maids to be punished. Duyu immediately agreed. At this moment, Junlingyi's heart turned cold. Her heart was about to break. That was her dog hole. It was sealed just like that. It seemed her escape plan for tonight was ruined. Looking at Junlingyi, who was lost in thought, Qin Ji slowly approached her. Junlingyi didn't know what Qin Ji wanted to do. She was just thinking, don't get so close to me. Please maintain a proper social distance. So, Junlingyi slowly backed away until she was against the corner of the wall with no escape. Qin Ji pinned Junlingyi against the wall, questioning her if she was meeting a man in private just now. Junlingyi felt wronged and strategically started to fake cry, telling Qin Ji she wasn't meeting anyone. The maids were framing her and talking nonsense. But inwardly, she was complaining. Qin Ji's memory was really good. He still remembered this, and he even pinned her to the wall. Seeing Junlingyi cry, Qin Ji couldn't bear it, but his tone was still harsh. He didn't understand either. He just asked a question, and it made Junlingyi cry. Junlingyi changed the subject, asking Qin Ji if the young heir was awake, how his health was, and if it was serious. Hearing Junlingyi's string of questions, Qin Ji thought Junlingyi was concerned about the young heir. So he turned and told Junlingyi to change her clothes and go with him to see Mu Yan. Seeing Qin Ji turn and walk away, Junlingyi was still confused. The two arrived at Chun Hall. The maid inside was coaxing Mu Yan, asking him to put on his clothes. The prince and princess consort would be here to see him soon. His mother consort would only like him if he was dressed up nicely. But Mu Yan was throwing a tantrum on the bed, shouting that he didn't want a mother consort and didn't like his grandmother. And he especially disliked the mother consort she sent. Besides, books say that stepmothers are the cruelest. They hate children that didn't come from their own wombs. So Mu Yan thought the stepmother would be the same. She would hit Mu Yan, and she would scold Mu Yan. Before he could finish, the newly arrived Qin Ji heard him and sternly stopped Mu Yan. Hearing Qin Ji's voice, Mu Yan quickly sat up. The maid also knelt to curtsy. Mu Yan looked pitifully at Qin Ji. Seeing the scene before her, Junlingyi thought to herself, if I have sinned, the law will punish me. Please don't let me see this kind of scene. Otherwise, I can't help but think, this child is so cute. He looks just like a New Year's painting doll. I really want to pat him. So Junlingyi really did step forward, wanting to pat Mu Yan. She told him she was just a newly appointed housekeeper of the prince's manor. But Mu Yan dodged her. Although Mu Yan was young, he was very smart. He felt that Junlingyi must be lying. How could a housekeeper be a woman? But Junlingyi was not convinced. Why can't women do the things that men can do in this world? She then told Mu Yan, since I have entered the manor as the princess consort, I must manage the affairs of the entire household. So naturally, I could be the housekeeper. Since I have to manage the household affairs and work hard every day, where would I find the time to hit or scold Mu Yan and be the evil stepmother from the books? Mu Yan was unable to refute her for a moment. He felt that what Junlingyi said made some sense. However, Mu Yan was still very proud. Even so, Junlingyi shouldn't even think about tricking him into calling her mother consort. She was just a female housekeeper. Junlingyi reached out and patted Mu Yan's head, telling him he could call her whatever he wanted. In her heart, she thought this child, Mu Yan, was simply too adorable. Mu Yan puffed up his cheeks and slapped Junlingyi's hand away, not letting her touch him. Only his father king could touch his head. As Junlingyi stood up, she turned and saw Qin Ji, who had been staring at her the whole time, which she found a bit strange. So she waved her hand in front of Qin Ji's eyes and called his name. Only then did Qin Ji snap back to his senses. He grabbed Junlingyi's flailing wrist and told her he had to go out for something. Duyu would stay with her, and she could tell him if she needed anything. Then he turned and left, leaving a bewildered Junlingyi standing there. Junlingyi turned to look at Mu Yan, then at the maids, wailing internally. She didn't want to become a stepmother and take on the job of raising a child. Junlingyi clutched her head, her mind buzzing. Inside Tongtian Pavilion, Qin Ji was drinking wine. Lu Weichen asked Qin Ji why he had time to come drink with him instead of staying home with his beautiful wife on the second day of his marriage. Qin Ji asked Lu Weichen to help him investigate something. Lu Weichen agreed immediately, guessing he was to investigate the people who had blocked his return, or the people who were trying to assassinate him, but it turned out to be neither. Qingji actually wanted to investigate Junlingyi. He recalled what Junlingyi had told him before. Why can't women do the things that men can do in this world? This was clearly the person he had met 5 years ago. How could she have no impression of him at all now? He didn't know what had happened to her. Qingji wanted to know about her past experiences. Inside Mingyu Pavilion, Junlingyi was studying a map of the prince's mansion. She had walked around the mansion during the day. There was a guard every 3 steps. The security was as tight as an iron barrel. And then there was Duyu. Wherever she went, he followed, without saying a word, just like a robot. Seeing this, she knew it would be impossible to escape. She had to find another way. Her room door was suddenly pushed open. Junlingyi quickly crumpled the map in her hand into a ball. She stood up nervously to welcome Qingji back, seeing the rolling ink brush. Qingji curiously asked Junlingyi what she was doing. Junlingyi stammered that she was drawing, but Qingji took out a piece of cloth and praised Junlingyi for being so multi-talented, saying she must also be good at embroidery. Mending was something every girl had to learn. Junlingyi picked up the cloth and looked at it from left to right, but couldn't make heads or tails of it. Qingji told her directly that these were the clothes she had ruined while washing them during the day. Now, Qingji was punishing her by making her mend them. So, Junlingyi began her mending work. She thought to herself that from a laundry girl to a mending old lady, it had been a truly colorful day. On the bed, Qingji suddenly spoke, asking Junlingyi if she wasn't going to sleep yet, as it was so late. Junlingyi told Qingji to sleep first. Today's work must be finished today. She would sleep after she finished mending the clothes. In her heart, she complained that she would rather mend until dawn than share a bed with Qingji. Then she saw Qingji reading seriously. That figure, those looks were simply to die for. She suddenly became infatuated. In a moment of carelessness, she pricked her finger with a needle. The pain suddenly cleared Junlingyi's head. She thought, what's the use of a pretty face? It still houses the black heart of someone who exploits the common people, a Huang Shuren who bullies men and preys on women. What about her years of embroidery skills? She wouldn't let Qingji benefit for free. Just let him wait. The next morning, Qingji woke up and saw Junlingyi slumped over the table. He thought, there's a bed, but she won't sleep in it. Is she avoiding me? Qingji reached out and picked up Junlingyi. Junlingyi sensed the movement and opened her eyes. She saw it was Qingji. Suddenly nervous, Qingji let go of his hands. Junlingyi fell to the floor with a thud. Qingji pretended to grab his clothes, making the excuse that Junlingyi was in his way. Junlingyi rubbed her sore bottom. Well, that's a real shame. Qingji unfolded the clothes and saw large and small, colorful patches on them. Junlingyi smiled secretly to herself. Everyone has their specialty, and this was the best she could do with mending. She suggested Qingji try on the clothes. Qingji looked at the clothes and praised them, saying they were not bad. Junlingyi was puzzled. He could even praise this? It seemed Qingji was even more shameless than she was. Junlingyi took the clothes, wanting to help Qingji put them on. She thought, if she didn't make Qingji wear these clothes and have a good laugh at him, wouldn't her hard work for half the night be in vain? Seeing the belt nearby, Qingji asked Junlingyi to bring it over and tie it for him. She sensed Qingji's burning gaze. Junlingyi thought to herself that Qingji was truly an old pervert, always staring at her. Then she forcefully tightened the belt and pretended to apologize. It was her first time helping someone dress, so she had no experience. She hoped she hadn't tied it too tightly for the prince. But Qingji said Junlingyi hadn't tied it too tightly at all. In fact, it fit very well. Then he turned and walked away. Seeing Qingji leaving just like that, Junlingyi hurriedly asked him where he was going. It turned out Qingji told Junlingyi he was going to the palace. Junlingyi was puzzled. Was Qingji really going to the palace dressed like that? But Qingji felt there was nothing wrong with it. He thought the clothes his consort mended were very creative. If the emperor and the empress dowager found out about this, they would probably think the consort was very capable and be pleased. Junlingyi had a terrible headache. She had clearly wanted to embarrass Qingji. But if he went to the palace dressed like this, wouldn't she be the one losing face? She tried to persuade him nicely. No matter how well these clothes were mended, they were still patched. To have an audience with the emperor in the palace, how could it not be a breach of etiquette before the throne? She urged Qin Ji to change quickly, but Qin Ji insisted the emperor would not blame him. Jun Lingyi pleaded coquettishly with Qin Ji to change quickly. Qin Ji finally agreed, but he said he would have to trouble Jun Lingyi to help him change his clothes again. This time, Jun Lingyi had truly injured the enemy by 1,000, but lost 800 herself. Qin Ji must have been sent by the Buddha to torture her. After Qin Ji changed his clothes, he praised Jun Lingyi, saying the belt was tied just right this time. Seeing Qin Ji finally leave, Jun Lingyi was overjoyed. Qin Ji turned around and told Jun Lingyi that he had let her maid return to serve her. Jun Lingyi thanked the prince. After Qin Ji left, Jun Lingyi rubbed her neck, which was sore from mending Qin Ji's clothes all night. Just then, she heard Tower's voice from behind. Tower asked with concern how Jun Lingyi was feeling. Jun Lingyi replied that she was fine, just didn't sleep well last night, and now felt uncomfortable all over. Hearing that the princess consort didn't sleep well last night, Tower remembered her mother saying that it's normal for women to have backaches the next day. Her mother had also taught her some massage techniques and offered to give Jun Lingyi a massage. While massaging, she told Jun Lingyi that her mother was a midwife and knew a lot. She had even taught her many secret recipes for bearing sons. Jun Lingyi immediately cut Tower off. However, Jun Lingyi thought that since Tower's mother was so capable, she wondered if she had taught Tower about these things. The two began to conspire. After hearing the plan, Tower decided to go buy some things. She would definitely work hard to help cure the prince. Jun Lingyi rested her chin on her hand, feeling extremely smug. This time, Qin Ji would surely beg her for a divorce. Qin Ji returned. You came forward to report. This morning, Miss Tower went out of the mansion and bought some medicine. It was said to be for nourishing kidney yang. Now, the entire mansion was gossiping that the prince was impotent. At this, Qin Ji's face darkened. Inside Mengyu Pavilion, Jun Lingyi was leisurely writing something. She thought, men can't stand being told they're not capable. Qin Ji would surely come to confront her in a rage. It would be her home ground. The door opened, and Jun Lingyi looked towards the door happily. But it was Tower. She told Jun Lingyi that the prince was summoning her to settle the score. This stunned Jun Lingyi. How was this different from what she had imagined? What was wrong with Qin Ji? Why did he always want to drag her to bed whenever he wanted to settle a score? Two maids came in from outside to help Jun Lingyi wash and dress, completely ignoring her wishes. Jun Lingyi's miserable screams echoed in the room. At night, in Zigue Pavilion, Jun Lingyi wore the clothes that had been meticulously prepared for her. She felt very uncomfortable. These clothes were too sheer. Qin Ji told her to come over. Jun Lingyi comforted herself. He was surely just trying to scare her. He wouldn't really do anything to her. Then, Qin Ji pulled Jun Lingyi over. He pulled her onto the bed. Before Jun Lingyi could react, she was pinned under Qin Ji. Qin Ji questioned Jun Lingyi, asking if she had been telling everyone that he was impotent. Jun Lingyi explained that she had only asked Tower to get a dose of medicine. Who knew the people in the mansion had such rich imaginations? That's what caused the misunderstanding. Qin Ji asked Jun Lingyi how she planned to resolve this misunderstanding. Jun Lingyi took out a pre-written divorce letter. She told Qin Ji to sign this divorce letter and grant her freedom. She guaranteed she would praise the prince's heroic manliness to everyone she met and clear the prince's name. Looking at the divorce letter, Qin Ji knew that Jun Lingyi was quite knowledgeable. Jun Lingyi explained that he had misunderstood her. She was as pure as a blank sheet of paper. But to prove it to the prince, she would spare no effort. But then, Qin Ji threw the divorce letter away, telling Jun Lingyi it didn't have to be so troublesome. Then he pressed Jun Lingyi down under him. All he had to do was prove it with his actions, and everything would be resolved. Seeing Qin Ji's posture, it seemed he wasn't faking it. Jun Lingyi felt a little flustered. She quickly turned her head, her eyes filled with tears, and told Qin Ji that if he really wanted to do this, then he should just come at her. She silently hoped that her fake crying could save her life. Qin Ji finally stopped. He thought, does Jun Lingyi want to leave me this badly? He then sat up and gave up. Qin Ji grabbed the blanket and threw it onto Jun Lingyi. She really was a pure little white paper, still too naive. Jun Lingyi sat up. Qin Ji had someone prepare water. Jun Lingyi suspected that Qin Ji was going to take a cold bath. Do you report it? There was news from Zhang Chuntang. The young master was not feeling well and had a fever. Qin Ji threw the cloak to Junlingyi. He told her to put it on and go with him. Inside Zhang Chuntang, Mu Yin was deliriously calling for his father king. Qin Ji asked the servant when Mu Yin started having a fever and if they had called a doctor. The servant reported, Mu Yin started vomiting not long after dinner and soon developed a fever. Worried that the previous wine poison had not been completely cleared, she had called for Imperial Physician Li, who had treated Mu Yin last time. Tower called for Junlingyi from outside the door. Although she didn't know what Tower wanted, Junlingyi still went out. After hearing what Tower said, Junlingyi told her to wait a moment. Then she went into the room and said something to the prince. After hearing Junlingyi's words, Qin Ji turned to leave. But Mu Yin grabbed Qin Ji's hand, not wanting him to go. However, Junlingyi told Qin Ji that this matter was related to Mu Yan's illness. Qin Ji told Mu Yin that he would be right back. Seeing that Qin Ji was not staying with him, Mu Yin felt that this woman in front of him really wanted to monopolize his father king and make his father king abandon him. He felt a little dejected. Outside the door, Junlingyi asked Tower to repeat what she had just told her Qin Ji. Tower reported truthfully. She had secretly heard someone tell Mu Yin that since the prince returned, he only spent time with the princess consort and ignored the young master. If the princess consort were to have a child in the future, he would probably be abandoned even more. The young master thought that if he got sick, his father king would care about him. Also, tonight, the young master had asked her to go to a restaurant outside and order a few dishes. The people at the restaurant reminded her that those dishes were incompatible and would cause poisoning if eaten together. This is simply outrageous. Qin Ji was furious. Junlingyi held Qin Ji back and told him to leave the child's matter to her to solve. However, she would have to trouble Qin Ji to be her model. Qin Ji didn't know what a model was, but he still went into the room with Junlingyi. In the room, Junlingyi deliberately discussed loudly with Qin Ji. She said that seeing the young master so sick, he probably wouldn't get better. Even if he were barely cured, his body would be so weak that he wouldn't live long. Instead of staying here, Qin Ji might as well go back with her and have a new young master. Before Qin Ji could speak, Mu Yin sat up and angrily cursed Junlingyi as a sorceress for monopolizing his father king. Seeing Mu Yin so energetic, Junlingyi pretended to be surprised. It seemed Mu Yan's illness was cured. Mu Yan's eyes darted away, not daring to look at Qin Ji. He pretended his head hurt. Qin Ji was getting angry. Mu Yin obediently confessed that he just wanted Qin Ji to spend more time with him. Qin Ji was very angry. He taught him to read and write, not to use what he learned from books to harm himself and vie for favor. Mu Yin obediently admitted his mistake. Junlingyi asked Qin Ji to take the maids out, as she wanted to have a few words with the young master alone. Mu Yin was terrified. He was afraid of what Junlingyi might do to him. In Mu Yan's eyes, Junlingyi now exuded a frightening aura. Junlingyi told Mu Yin that she wouldn't do anything to him. If she wanted to, she had many ways to deal with him, even secretly bribing Mu Yan's maids to poison him, making his illness more thorough. From coma to death, without anyone knowing. Junlingyi told Mu Yin to lie down and earnestly told him to remember to never abuse himself just to compete with others. Sleep well, and don't give her any opportunities. Junlingyi went out the door and instructed the maids that Mu Yin was weak after vomiting. They should brew some sugar salt water for him to drink to rehydrate, lest his body really develop problems. Mu Yin watched Junlingyi's actions, lost in thought. She's so strange. Outside, Qin Ji looked at Junlingyi, thinking that she was quite good at raising children. Junlingyi was afraid. Could it be that Qin Ji was giving her more points in his mind again? Please don't. She was just hoping not to see a good child being led astray, so she gave a few pointers. She explained that in this matter, the young master was not so much vying for favor as he was trying to get Qin Ji's attention. In the end, it was because Qin Ji didn't give him enough care. She advised Qin Ji to focus all his attention on the child and not to come looking for her. Qin Ji took Junlingyi's hand to send her back first, saying he would come back later to watch over Mu Yin. At night, Qin Ji pulled Junlingyi forward, but Junlingyi, oblivious to the mood, told Qin Ji to let go of her, that she could walk by herself. Qin Ji thought to himself that she still didn't understand. Remembering that tomorrow was the day for her homecoming visit, he turned and explained to Junlingyi that he had some matters to attend to and couldn't go with her tomorrow. but he would go to the June mansion to pick her up after he was done. June Lingyi understood. She thought a homecoming visit. Isn't this a great opportunity to escape from the Pingxi Wang mansion? The next morning, in Mengyu Pavilion, June Lingyi discovered that Qin Ji had sent Yu to watch her. She wouldn't be able to escape on her own, so she still had to ask Ning for help. June Lingyi leaned on the windowsill, deep in thought. She stroked the small bird beside her and quickly released it, asking it to help deliver a message. She told Ning to come and take her away. After getting ready, they set off for the June mansion. In front of the June mansion gate, everyone saw the prince's carriage arrive and knelt down to greet them. However, they only saw June Lingyi getting out of the carriage by herself. June Runs asked June Lingyi where the prince was. Yu, who was beside them, replied that the prince had matters to attend to today and would come later. The first madam, Yu Shi, and June Lingyi's legitimate elder sister, June Hiru, helped June Runs up. Only then did they see Yu beside them. They quickly invited him into the mansion. June Lingyi watched this scene, feeling resentful. This old June fellow was as fawning as ever. So she entered the mansion on her own, leaving June Runs fuming on the spot. He hadn't even moved, yet his daughter June Lingyi had gone in first. So ill-mannered. June Runs walked obsequiously beside Yu, asking if he had eaten breakfast. Food was prepared in the main hall, and he could have some. But June Lingyi and Yu suddenly stopped walking. June Runs bumped straight into Yu's back. June Lingyi told Yu to go and eat with June Runs while she would take a walk. But Yu remembered Qin Ji's order to stay by June Lingyi's side at all times. June Runs straightened his crooked hat and scolded June Lingyi for coming home and wandering around instead of talking to her family, causing more trouble for Lord Yu. June Lingyi looked at June Runs calmly. She didn't know where her family was. June Lingyi's attitude made June Runs very angry. He pointed at June Lingyi, about to scold her. June Lingyi ignored him, turned around, and walked forward. Without looking back, she warned June Runs that he knew her temper. If he followed her again, she didn't know what she might do. These words made June Runs tremble with anger. Did June Lingyi really think of herself as the princess consort? June Hiru, beside June Runs, pretended to speak up for June Lingyi, telling June Runs that June Lingyi had a strong personality. Since the prince didn't come back with her, she was probably somewhat dissatisfied. Then, a look of delight appeared on her face. What if the prince took his anger out on them because of this? Yu Shi at the side felt that they had to hurry up and push Hiru forward. When Prince Pingxi arrived later, they would have Hiru play a song. The prince wasn't blind. Once he saw Hiru's good qualities, he surely wouldn't be able to stand June Lingyi anymore. June Hiru pretended to decline, telling her mother not to say such things. She was just worried about her younger sister and wanted to enter the prince's mansion to have someone to look after her sister and also to seek benefits for the June family. If her mother's words were to reach her sister's ears, she might misunderstand her. Seeing June Hiru looking so wronged, June Runs despised June Lingyi even more. What was there for June Lingyi to misunderstand? The position of principal consort should have been June Hiru's in the first place. She just got lucky. Now, letting June Hiru go over and leaving her the position of a side consort was already a bargain for June Lingyi. June Hiru also thought viciously in her heart. It really was a bargain for June Lingyi. She shouldn't even be left with the position of a side consort. In the mansion garden, Lu Weichun was sitting in a pavilion. Qin Ji walked over, wondering what important matter he had. Why couldn't he just send a message? Lu Weichun sat to one side and seriously told Qin Ji that he had investigated everything. Qin Ji's princess consort was not simple. He hinted to Qin Ji that the June family was backed by that person. Of course, Qin Ji knew this. How could someone who wasn't his person be arranged to marry him? Lu Weichun continued to report the intelligence he had gathered. June Runs had 2 sons and 2 daughters, and June Lingyi was the youngest. Her mother was a peasant girl whom June Runs had taken into the mansion when he was posted outside the capital. She died a few years after giving birth to her. She was not favored in the June family. 5 years ago, she even went missing, and no one from the June family went to look for her. She found her own way back. At this point, Qin Ji paused his actions, suddenly remembering the events of 5 years ago. Lu Weichun didn't notice Qin Ji's strange reaction. He continued, saying that June Lingyi also had a lover. The two had made vows to each other, but June Runs had obstructed them, so they planned to elope together. Of course, they did not succeed in the end. June Runs drove that person away, banishing him from the capital. It has been 2 years now. That person is Ning Heshuan. Liu Weichen also found out that Ning Heshuan is due to return to the capital in the next 2 days. Qin Ji stared at the surface of the water, as if looking at Jun Lingyi through it. On the other side, Jun Lingyi also met Ning Heshuan. Ning Heshuan exchanged pleasantries with Jun Lingyi. Seeing Ning Heshuan's hand about to reach out, Jun Lingyi subconsciously stepped back, avoiding Ning Heshuan's touch. She warned him. Was he bored and planning to put a green hat on Prince Bingxi's head? Ning Heshuan looked at Jun Lingyi with a hurt expression, apologizing to her. He couldn't respond to her back then. He heard that Jun Lingyi had been waiting for him all this time and even ran away from her wedding for him. Jun Lingyi quickly stopped him from being so sentimental. She did not run away from her wedding for him, and she didn't know who started that rumor. Jun Lingyi was trapped in a corner with no way to retreat. Ning Heshuan seemed not to have heard Jun Lingyi's rejection and insisted on taking her away. Jun Lingyi struggled hard, regretting that she had sent Du away earlier. She hadn't expected to be cornered by Ning Heshuan here. A pebble hit Ning Heshuan's wrist. Ning Heshuan looked angrily to the side. Unexpectedly, it was Qin Ji. Qin Ji pulled Jun Lingyi's hand and asked her who this man was. Before Jun Lingyi could speak, Jun Hiru, on the side, called out Ning Heshuan's name. She pointed out that Ning Heshuan and Jun Lingyi had a past relationship, but Jun Lingyi was already married now. Even if they couldn't control their feelings, they shouldn't meet again. Then Jun Hiru wiped her tears and told Du that her sister was just confused for a moment and he must not tell the prince about this. Then she actually knelt down. Anyone who didn't know would have really thought they were deeply affectionate sisters. The maid beside her repeatedly tried to persuade her. She told Jun Hiru to stand up and not be like this. Only Jun Lingyi saw through Jun Hiru's green tea acting. She thought this is a true master. With this acting and crying, if she were in modern times, she would definitely be an Oscar-winning actress. However, Jun Hiru made one mistake. That was that the person in front of her, dressed in magnificent clothes, was not Du. It was clearly Qin Ji, and he was even holding her hand. How could he be mistaken? Jun Hiru must be blind. Forcefully calling a deer a horse was a bit too much. Jun Runs arrived with a group of people, calling out, "Your Highness, Your Highness." He didn't expect the prince to be here already. He had wanted to go and greet him personally. The food was all prepared. Jun Runs fawningly greeted Qin Ji, inviting him to have a drink together. Qin Ji asked for Jun Lingyi's opinion. Jun Lingyi wanted to return to the mansion. Watching the father and daughter act was truly boring. Moreover, if she stayed at the Jun mansion, it would be difficult for Yin Ning to come and rescue her. Hearing Jun Lingyi refuse, Qin Ji also immediately declined Jun Run's invitation. This made Jun Run's unhappy. The prince had just arrived. How could he leave with Jun Lingyi? Qin Ji was displeased. His princess consort was not someone Jun Runs could glare at as he pleased. Jun Runs wiped away the cold sweat that had broken out and told Qin Ji insincerely that he doted on Jun Lingyi too much to glare at her. How could he glare at her? Jun Hiru, at the side, told Qin Ji that her father's meaning was that this was the first time the prince and her sister had come back after getting married, so they should stay a little longer and have a good chat. She had mistaken him for someone else earlier, and she was willing to play a song at the family banquet to express her apology. Jun Lingyi gave them no face at all, using the excuse that the prince was busy and telling Jun Hiru to come to the prince's mansion another day to play. She could even help train the musicians in the mansion. Jun Hiru was furious in her heart. A lowly bastard with no status dared to compare her to a musician and mock her. How despicable. Jun Runs was also about to get angry, but was stopped by Qin Ji. Jun Runs was instantly deflated. He didn't dare say anything. He swallowed all the harsh words he was about to say. Qin Ji stopped leading Jun Lingyi away. Jun Runs looked at Ning Heshuan. He coldly questioned who let him come. Ning Heshuan was too scared to speak. Jun Hiru stepped in front of them. She told Jun Runs that their younger sister didn't want to marry into the prince's mansion before, and she was afraid today was the same. Jun Lingyi wanted to use the trip back to the mansion to have Ning Heshuan elope with her. Jun Runs pulled Jun Hiru aside. He angrily cursed at Ning Heshuan that no matter how he got in, the Jun mansion did not welcome him. He told him to get out of the Jun mansion immediately. The matter of Jun Hiru entering the prince's mansion must also be arranged as soon as possible, lest Jun Lingyi cause trouble and make the Jun mansion suffer along with her. In the carriage, Jun Lingyi looked out the window, thinking that Yin Ning would probably be here soon. Qin Ji asked Jun Lingyi what exactly happened between her and Ning Heshuan 2 years ago. Jun Lingyi recalled, 2 years ago, Ning Heshuan came to the capital for the imperial examination. He got acquainted with the eldest young master of the Jun family and came to stay at the Jun mansion. Over time, he got involved with Jun Hiru. The two of them were discovered having a secret rendezvous at midnight by Old Man Jun. But Jun Hiru pushed the blame onto her. She claimed that she heard Jun Lingyi was going to elope with Ning Heshuan, and she was there to dissuade them. The ridiculous thing was, Jun Runs actually believed Jun Hiru's lies so easily. Back then, if Old Man Jun hadn't seen that Ning Heshuan was a scholar from a poor family and couldn't bring him any benefits, he probably would have made her marry him. Next, Jun Lingyi advised him kindly. She told Qin Ji that they had known each other for a while. After all, she advised Qin Ji that if he were to take another consort in the future, he must keep his eyes open. He must never marry someone like Jun Hiru. She looks like a little white rabbit, but is actually a venomous snake that bites. Qin Ji looked at Jun Lingyi affectionately. He told her that he already had a princess consort and would not marry anyone else. Jun Lingyi quickly pulled her hand back. They both knew this marriage was to ward off ill fortune. It was a joke to begin with. A forced union where neither party is willing will not lead to happiness. It will be better to separate. Qin Ji lowered his head, not daring to look into Jun Lingyi's eyes, and asked her, "What if I am willing?" Jun Lingyi thought she had misheard, until Qin Ji told her that he liked her. Jun Lingyi was extremely surprised. They had only known each other for a few days. Qin Ji told her it was love at first sight for him. Even if she was born of a concubine, it doesn't matter. Even if Jun Lingyi has an incurable illness, he would find an imperial physician to treat her. Even if it can't be cured, he wouldn't despise her. Jun Lingyi was a little dejected. She didn't know what Qin Ji saw in her. Couldn't she just change? But Qin Ji told her that he liked everything about her. Jun Lingyi didn't believe him at all. She suspected Qin Ji must be retaliating against her. She knew she couldn't reason with him. It was better to just obediently wait for Yin Ning to come and save her. Just as Jun Lingyi lifted the carriage curtain, an arrow flew over. With quick eyes and fast hands, Qin Ji embraced Jun Lingyi and caught the arrow that had suddenly appeared. Whoosh, 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 several more came. Caught off guard, Qin Ji was struck by an arrow. He let out a muffled groan. Jun Lingyi was a little worried, thinking an assassination at this time. Could it be Yin Ning's doing? But I only asked him to create some chaos so I could take the chance to escape. I didn't ask him to kill me and Qin Ji. Qin Ji collapsed weakly onto Jun Lingyi's shoulder. Jun Lingyi pulled out the arrow, shouting, but Qin Ji didn't respond. The arrow was actually poisoned. Du Yu reported that the outside had been cleared. Jun Lingyi anxiously told Du Yu that Qin Ji was injured. They needed to hurry back to the prince's mansion and get the imperial physician. The carriage moved quickly. Jun Lingyi laid Qin Ji flat. She saw the wound was on his shoulder and back. If it was too close to the heart and not treated in time, the poison would probably spread throughout his body before they even reached the prince's mansion. So Jun Lingyi tore open Qin Ji's clothes, wanting to treat his wound. But she discovered there was a very long scar on Qin Ji's body. She didn't know when he got injured or what the circumstances were. Looking at the large and small scars on Qin Ji's body, Jun Lingyi unconsciously felt a pang of heartache. It really wasn't easy for Qin Ji to stay alive. This time, she would also do her best not to let Qin Ji die. Jun Lingyi bandaged Qin Ji up, telling him to hold on. They would be at the prince's mansion soon. Then the imperial physician could re-bandage it. Jun Lingyi wiped the sweat from Qin Ji's brow, feeling a bit of admiration. The pain must have been so intense just now, yet he didn't make a sound. He was about to call out. Seeing such a warm scene, he silently withdrew. Jun Lingyi looked out of the carriage, puzzled. Soon, they arrived at Zigue Pavilion in the prince's mansion. An imperial physician diagnosed Qin Ji and found that the poison the prince was struck with had been weakened. The wound was also treated in a timely manner. It was not serious. He would recover in a few days. Jun Lingyi asked when Qin Ji would likely wake up. The prince is unconscious now because the poison contained an anesthetic. The imperial physician has already written a prescription and had someone go brew it. After drinking the medicine, it won't be long before the prince wakes up. Jun Lingyi thanked the imperial physician, and the imperial physician took his leave. Jun Lingyi looked at Qin Ji with concern. Fortunately, Qin Ji was fine, otherwise she would have been worried. Tower came into the room carrying the medicine. She handed it to Junlingyi, telling her that this was the medicinal soup the imperial physician had instructed her to brew, and that Junlingyi should quickly have the prince drink it. Junlingyi took it and carefully fed the medicine to Qin Ji. However, the unconscious Qin Ji couldn't drink any of the medicine. Tower was getting anxious watching. She suggested that Junlingyi try that method. Junlingyi was a little confused. Tower pouted and gestured for Junlingyi to feed him the medicine. Junlingyi was ashamed. How could a native-born ancient person know more than her? This was her first kiss. Junlingyi looked at the medicine, then at Qin Ji. Qin Ji was injured protecting her. How could she hesitate when it came to saving someone? Thinking of this, Junlingyi asked Tower to leave first. Tower understood in a second. She walked out with a grin. Junlingyi took a large mouthful of medicine. She kissed Qin Ji's lips. Looking at him this closely, Qin Ji was really handsome. Tower peeked through the crack in the door, secretly observing the actions inside the room. Muyin had also come into the room at some point. He saw Junlingyi so close to his royal father. Muyin suddenly became wary. He questioned what Junlingyi was doing to his royal father. He pulled Junlingyi up and was about to drive her out. Muyin didn't want Junlingyi to touch his royal father. Junlingyi was helpless, but fortunately, her task was completed. Junlingyi let Muyin lead her out. Muyin looked at Qin Ji with tears in his eyes, stroking his cheek. When Junlingyi saw this scene, she sighed. No matter how fierce Muyin was to her, he was just a child worried about his father. A maidservant hurried in from outside, bringing a food box for Muyin. She urged Muyin to eat something. A low pressure emanated from Muyin. He coldly told the maidservant to get out. The maidservant was very worried. Muyin had just been sick yesterday and hadn't eaten much today. She was afraid his body wouldn't be able to take it. Junlingyi had the maidservant give the food box to her and then dismissed her. Muyin sat on the bed, watching Junlingyi, thinking she was going to persuade him to eat. Junlingyi opened the food box and saw the dishes inside. She thought to herself that the prince's mansion's chefs really put in a lot of effort to get Muyin to eat. However, these dishes were too sweet and rich. In his current state, Muyin would probably find it hard to eat them. He had an upset stomach last night and hadn't eaten properly today. His body must be very weak. If this continued, he might faint just as Qin Ji woke up. For the sake of the adorable Muyin, Junlingyi decided to help him. She picked up the food box, pushed open the door, and walked in. Junlingyi opened the food box and placed the dishes on the table one by one. The food gave off a tempting aroma. Junlingyi picked up an osmanthus cake and held it under her nose, deliberately sniffing it in an exaggerated manner. She said loudly to herself, "This osmanthus cake smells so fragrant." Muyin sniffed the air, jumped off the bed, and walked towards Junlingyi. In the next room, Junlingyi picked up an osmanthus cake, muttering soft, sticky, and sweet osmanthus cake, paired with sour hawthorn sauce. "It's so delicious." Muyin smelled the fragrance and couldn't resist. He also came to the next room, drooling, and told Junlingyi that he wanted to eat too. Junlingyi thought to herself, Muyin has taken a bait. If I give it to him directly, he might realize I'm tricking him, so I need to build it up a bit more. So she pretended to be protective of her food and didn't let Muyin get close. Muyin hugged Junlingyi's leg, looking at her pitifully. He actually called Junlingyi mother consort. Junlingyi didn't expect this bonus. Looking at Muyin's adorable appearance, Junlingyi's heart softened. Her cuteness meter was about to explode. What an adorable little human Muyin was. So Junlingyi went into kind mother mode and gave all the food to Muyin. Holding the osmanthus cake, Muyin asked if Junlingyi could go outside. He wasn't used to having someone watch him while he ate. Junlingyi readily got up and agreed. Junlingyi looked outside. She asked Muyin if the prince had woken up during the time she was gone. Muyin obediently replied that Qin Ji had not woken up. Junlingyi was puzzled. Logically, this shouldn't be the case. He had already drunk the medicine. Why wasn't Qin Ji awake after so long? Could it be that there was a problem with Yin Ning's poison? She thought to herself that she had to contact Yin Ning and ask him about the antidote. Junlingyi walked out. Muyin quickly closed the door. He wiped his forehead. This was really too difficult for him. Muyin offered the osmanthus cake to Qin Ji. Qin Ji slowly opened his eyes and sat up. Qin Ji praised Muyin for doing a good job. Muyin seriously told Qin Ji "Royal father, you just said this is our secret. I will definitely not tell that woman that you have woken up." Qin Ji corrected Mu Yin, telling him to call her mother consort. Mu Yin reluctantly replied that he understood and told Qin Ji to eat the osmanthus cake. Qin Ji looked at the osmanthus cake before him. Looking at the way the dish was prepared, it felt somewhat familiar. Qin Ji wanted to make a bet with Mu Yin. Mu Yin was immediately tricked. Junlingyi knocked on the door to see if Mu Yin had finished eating. After a short while, Mu Yin came and opened the door. Mu Yin obediently told Junlingyi that he had finished eating. Junlingyi walked in the door and saw the table was wiped clean. She was puzzled how Mu Yin could have eaten so much by himself. She had brought enough food for 2 adults. Junlingyi pointed at the table and asked Mu Yin, "Did you eat all this food by yourself?" Mu Yin looked at Junlingyi blankly. Junlingyi thought to herself, this isn't a case of being too heartbroken for his father to eat. He could practically eat a whole cow. Mu Yin pointed at the table and asked Junlingyi, "Can we not have sweet things tonight? I want to eat meat." He even specifically requested that the chef who made the osmanthus cake cook it. Junlingyi squatted down to be at eye level with Mu Yin. She asked with a curious look, "Do you think the chef who made the osmanthus cake is very skilled?" Mu Yin nodded. Junlingyi delightedly told Mu Yin that she would go talk to the chef in a bit. Mu Yin looked at Junlingyi pitifully and told her he was hungry right now. Junlingyi looked at the soft and cute Mu Yin before her and liked him very much. She finally understood why men all like green tea bitches. Who could resist this coquettish tone? So Junlingyi walked out with great enthusiasm to go hurry the chef for Mu Yin. After Junlingyi left, Mu Yin went back into the room and ran to Qin Ji's bed. He told Qin Ji with a serious face that he was sure the osmanthus cake was definitely not made by Junlingyi. Qin Ji was still a little suspicious. Mu Yin firmly told Qin Ji, if this osmanthus cake was really made by Junlingyi, then I will accept her as my mother consort from now on. When she brings food in the future, I definitely won't snatch it. Qin Ji corrected Mu Yin. Junlingyi is already your mother consort. Mu Yin crossed his arms over his chest and seriously told Qin Ji, if the osmanthus cake was made by Junling, then I will agree to your request in the future. But if it wasn't made by her, then you're never allowed to snatch food from me again. I want to eat sweets, not meat. Qin Ji readily agreed. Di went with Junlingyi. Whether it was made by Junlingyi or not would be known in a moment. In the kitchen, Di stood guard seriously on the side. He became a human surveillance camera. Many people had gathered in the kitchen, all drawn by the aroma. It was Tower who was cooking. They were all praising Tower's skills, saying they were simply amazing. Some even wanted to request that Tower be transferred to the kitchen. They absolutely couldn't let a talent like Tower be buried. Their eyes were sparkling, and they were practically drooling. Tower politely refused everyone. She was just the princess consort's dowry maid and had to stay by the princess consort's side. How could she come to the kitchen to be a cook? In a short while, a meal that was perfect in color, aroma, and taste was ready. In Zigue Pavilion, Junlingyi arrived with the food. She brought out the sweet and sour crispy ribs for Mu Yin, telling him that this was specially made for him by the great chef who made the osmanthus cake. She told him to hurry up and try it. Mu Yin hesitated for a moment. Junlingyi thought he didn't like it, but Mu Yin actually put his hands together, touching his fingertips, and praised Junlingyi for looking really beautiful today. Junlingyi was both surprised and delighted. She became a little shy and praised Mu Yin for being very well behaved today. Mu Yin told Junlingyi that he was going to eat now. Junlingyi quickly prepared to leave. After closing the door, Junlingyi thought that although this bratty kid was cute, he had quite a few bad habits. Inside the room, Qin Ji walked out. Mu Yin told Qin Ji that he had said everything he was told to say. Qin Ji sat down at the table, picked up a piece of meat, and told Mu Yin that something was still missing. Mu Yin promised Qin Ji he would tell Junlingyi in a moment, but asked Qin Ji not to snatch his sweet and sour crispy ribs. He quickly pulled the meat in Qin Ji's hand over to his side. Qin Ji was helpless. Didn't Mu Yin say he wouldn't eat meat? Why was he eating it now? Mu Yin didn't know how to explain. He couldn't just say it was because the dish was too delicious, so he couldn't resist. He was very concerned about his pride. In the evening, Mu Yin was still sitting on Qin Ji's bed, waiting for him to wake up. Junlingyi came in from outside, wanting to have someone send Mu Yin back. He could come visit Qin Ji again after he woke up tomorrow morning. But Mu Yin turned and hugged Qin Ji, telling Jun Lingyi that he didn't want to go back to Jianchuan Hall. He wanted to sleep with Qin Ji tonight. Jun Lingyi compromised, telling Mu Yin to be very careful when sleeping at night. Don't kick Qin Ji's wound. Mu Yin promised that he would absolutely not move around in his sleep at night. Jun Lingyi nodded, then turned to go back to Mengyu Pavilion. However, before she could walk out the door, Mu Yin pulled on the corner of her clothes. Mu Yin blushed, a little embarrassed, and told Jun Lingyi that he was a little afraid of the dark. He wanted Jun Lingyi to stay and sleep with him. Jun Lingyi was a little surprised. Mu Yin wanted the three of them to sleep together tonight. Mu Yin's sincere eyes made it impossible for Jun Lingyi to refuse. Jun Lingyi had to compromise, thinking she would sleep on the floor. But Mu Yin wanted Jun Lingyi to sleep on the bed, otherwise he might step on her if he got up during the night. Jun Lingyi thought about it and felt that it was indeed a bit dangerous, so she agreed to Mu Yin's request. Mu Yin seriously told Jun Lingyi that he would sleep between her and Qin Ji, and told her not to cross the line. Jun Lingyi was a little helpless, thinking, this child is so proud and arrogant from such a young age. What will he be like when he grows up? At night, the three of them were squeezed together. Qin Ji quietly opened his eyes. He tucked the blanket in for Jun Lingyi and Mu Yin, but Jun Lingyi kicked Qin Ji. Luckily, Qin Ji dodged quickly, but Jun Lingyi was still restless. Qin Ji had to sit up and grab Jun Lingyi's restless feet. He carefully moved Mu Yin to the inner side and lay down next to Jun Lingyi himself. But just as Qin Ji lay down, Jun Lingyi started kicking again. Qin Ji clamped Jun Lingyi with his legs and held her in his arms, telling her to be good. The sleeping Jun Lingyi felt this position was very uncomfortable and began to struggle randomly. Qin Ji looked at Jun Lingyi's sleeping face, thinking he had brought this upon himself. In the morning, Jun Lingyi opened her eyes and saw Qin Ji's face right in front of her. She was startled. She silently chanted, "Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form." She couldn't be tempted by his handsome face. She thought she was dreaming. She wondered if she could delete this dream. Her chattering gave Qin Ji a headache. Qin Ji forcefully pulled Jun Lingyi into his embrace. Feeling the pain, Jun Lingyi finally realized this was not a dream, but was really happening. Jun Lingyi carefully asked Qin Ji if he was awake, saying it was quite hot sleeping like this. But Qin Ji had no reaction. Jun Lingyi guessed that Qin Ji probably wasn't awake yet. She tried to push Qin Ji away with her hands. She thought, Qin Ji is making moves on a girl, even while unconscious. He's clearly an old hand at picking up women. A voice came from above Jun Lingyi's head. Jun Lingyi looked in the direction of the voice. It was Mu Yin. Mu Yin was squatting next to Jun Lingyi with a pair of scissors, seriously telling her not to take advantage of Qin Ji. Jun Lingyi couldn't voice her grievance. It was clearly Qin Ji who made the first move. She hadn't touched him, but Mu Yin didn't believe her, reminding Jun Lingyi that her hand was still on Qin Ji's body. Only then did Jun Lingyi discover that her hand was actually between Qin Ji's legs. She was so scared she quickly sat up and returned Qin Ji to his original position. Mu Yin, with the air of a little adult, warned Jun Lingyi not to be happy too soon. Next time, he would not give Jun Lingyi such an opportunity again. Jun Lingyi was helpless. She didn't know where Mu Yin got the idea that she was happy. She was clearly about to cry from fright. Seeing Mu Yin yawning again and again, she told him to sleep a little longer if he was sleepy, and that she would leave first. As soon as Jun Lingyi stepped out, she saw Tower coming. He was concernedly asking, "Do you how the prince's health was now?" Seeing Jun Lingyi come out, Tower hurried forward and told Jun Lingyi that before she was married, the eldest miss had someone tell her fortune. It was said that she had the fate of jinxing her husband. Now that the prince had finally returned, only to suffer such a misfortune, Tower was very worried. Could the prophecy be coming true? The princess consort wasn't going to become a widow, was she? Thinking of this, Tower couldn't help but tremble. Realizing her gaffe, she quickly apologized to Jun Lingyi. Jun Lingyi planned to give Tower a chance to redeem herself. Qin Ji is injured now. I am really very worried. I want to go to the ancestral hall to pray for blessings. I'll have Tower go with me. She then turned and told Yu that since she had Tower with her, he didn't need to follow. Yu agreed. When they arrived at the ancestral hall, Jun Lingyi opened the door and told Tower to wait outside, saying she would go in alone. Just as she closed the door, a voice sounded from behind her. Jun Lingyi took out a hidden weapon and flicked it in the direction of the voice. It was Yin Ning. Yin Ning touched his injured ear. Jun Lingyi didn't want to hear Yin Ning's nonsense. She asked him where the thing she asked him to bring was. Yin Ning took out the antidote from his robes, wondering what Jun Lingyi wanted this for. Jun Lingyi was a little angry. She had asked Yin Ning to create chaos to help her escape, but she didn't see Yin Ning's people at all. He just shot arrows at her and then ran away. Yin Ning clutched his poor heart and told Jun Lingyi that Qin Ji was simply too ferocious. His elite troops were discovered by him from 1,000 li away. If he hadn't been well trained, he would be a general without an army by now. Then he took out a set of young servant's clothes and told Jun Lingyi that although he failed to rescue her last time, this time would surely succeed. When he came in just now, he found that the security of the entire prince's mansion was very lax. When the time comes, Jun Lingyi can wear the young servant's clothes and they can leave together. But Jun Lingyi told Yin Ning that today wouldn't work. Yin Ning was confused. Didn't Jun Lingyi always want to leave before? Why not today? Jun Lingyi held the medicine and told Yin Ning that the prince was injured because of her. She had to at least wait until his injury healed before she could leave. Yin Ning became a little serious. He suspected that Jun Lingyi might have taken a liking to Qin Ji. Jun Lingyi just didn't want to Qin Ji this favor. That's all. However, Jun Lingyi was curious. Why did Yin Ning care so much if she liked Qin Ji or not? So Jun Lingyi had a bold guess. Before she could say it out loud, Yin Ning immediately denied it. But Jun Lingyi patted Yin Ning's chest and told him not to be shy. She had known for a long time that he liked men. Yin Ning's face was full of question marks. Jun Lingyi thought that Qin Ji was indeed good-looking. She didn't expect him to be attractive to both men and women. She didn't know when Yin Ning started to like him. Could have been that stunning glance when he was shooting the arrows. Yin Ning frantically denied it, saying he didn't like Qin Ji. But Jun Lingyi had a look of disbelief. She even quietly told Yin Ning to rest assured that she would help him keep his secret. She would also keep the matter of him keeping male pets in his backyard hidden from their master and Yin Ning's father. Then, with a heartfelt tone, she sincerely advised Yin Ning. From her current contact with Qin Ji, if Yin Ning wanted to get Qin Ji into his backyard as a male pet, the possibility was not high. Although she had to stay by Qin Ji's side for a while longer, she told Yin Ning to rest assured. Her relationship with Qin Ji was innocent before, and it would definitely remain innocent in the future. After all, Jun Lingyi still understood the principle that one should not covet a friend's wife. In the future, she would also help create more opportunities for Yin Ning to meet with Qin Ji. Yin Ning clenched his fists. He thanked Jun Lingyi through gritted teeth. As if she didn't understand, Jun Lingyi turned and left. She also thanked Yin Ning for the antidote, promising to make him delicious food in return. Watching Jun Lingyi's departing figure, Yin Ning revealed a doting smile. Inside Zieg Pavilion, Du told Jun Lingyi that Lord Liu and young Master Bai had both arrived. Jun Lingyi walked into the room and saw Qin Ji lying on the bed, with Bai Russian sitting by his side. Lu Weichen and Mu Yin stood to one side, looking like they were on a makeshift stage. Lu Weichen asked Bai Russian how Qin Ji was doing and why he hadn't woken up after so long. Bai Russian told Lu Weichen that another moment's delay and he would have been incurable. He had already pressed Qin Ji's acupoints, and he should wake up within 2 days. With subsequent medicinal conditioning, 70 to 80% of the poison could be cleared within half a year. However, if they wanted to completely remove the poison, it would require slow conditioning over time. Jun Lingyi gripped the medicine bottle in her hand, thinking to herself that she knew the previous imperial physician was a quack. He had almost cost Qin Ji his life. Lu Weichen looked at the unfamiliar woman before him. Mu Yin tugged on Lu Weichen's sleeve and told him this person was his royal mother. Only then did Lu Weichen realize. He hurriedly bowed to Jun Lingyi and introduced himself. Jun Lingyi had long heard of him. He was the head of the capital's 4 great stubborn ones. Young and without a background, he had nonetheless secured the position of director of Tongtian Pavilion. Thus, there were rumors that Lu Weichen had bought his official position. She just hadn't expected that he would actually be friends with the prince. Next, Lu Weichen introduced the man beside him as the #1 divine doctor Bai Russian. Jun Lingyi thought to herself that not only had she heard of Bai Russian, but she had also seen him several times. After the introductions, Lu Weichen bid farewell to Jun Lingyi, telling her he would come for a proper gathering once Qin Ji woke up. He also took Mu Yin with him. Turning back, he saw that Bai Russian still hadn't left. Lu Weichen had a headache. Why was everyone so worrying? He then turned back and pulled Bai Russian along. After they went out, Lu Wei-chun closed the door, thinking to himself that this was all he could do to help Qin-ji. Seeing Mu Yin staring at him, Lu Wei-chun asked Mu Yin if he didn't want a little sister anymore. Mu Yin bluntly replied to Lu Wei-chun that he didn't. Lu Wei-chun crouched down and calmly reasoned with Mu Yin. Could it be that Mu Yin wanted Qin-ji to be a bachelor for life and then marry him? Mu Yin wanted to say that Jun Lingyi was not a good person, that she would secretly hug Qin-ji while he was sleeping. However, sometimes she was quite nice and would make a lot of delicious food for him. For a moment, Mu Yin didn't know if Jun Lingyi was good or not. Lu Wei-chun patted Mu Yin's head and promised to let Mu Yin stay outside the door, but he couldn't go in and disturb them. He then told Diyu to watch Mu Yin and not let him in. This was Qin-ji's order. Diyu immediately agreed. Lu Wei-chun knew that Qin-ji was worried about Jun Lingyi. If she left his sight, she might be hunted by the people from above. He had lost an entire elite team at the gate. To protect her now, even though he was perfectly fine, he insisted on having the two of them cooperate with him in this act. Lu Wei-chun guessed that the iron tree was about to bloom. The last time he asked Qin-ji, Qin-ji had said he didn't like Jun Lingyi. Looking at the silent by Russian, Lu Wei-chun found it extremely strange. He didn't know what was wrong with by Russian. Ever since coming out of Zieg Pavilion, he looked as if he'd lost half his soul. It was very strange. The moment he saw Jun Lingyi, by Russian looked as if he'd lost his soul. Could it be that by Russian, like Jun Lingyi? Before Lu Wei-chun could even ask, by Russian told Lu Wei-chun that he had loved before. A mountain of gossip instantly crushed Lu Wei-chun. Outside the door of Zieg Pavilion, Mu Yin asked Diyu to let him in. Diyu, remembering Qin-ji's order, did not compromise. Mu Yin tugged on Duyu's sleeve, begging Diyu to let him in. He was just worried that in his absence, Jun Lingyi would do something to Qin-ji. Besides, with Qin-ji lying in bed, wouldn't he be at Jun Lingyi's mercy? What if something happened to Qin-ji? Diyu began to waver. Mu Yin seized the opportunity, opened the door, and went in. Diyu was about to admit his mistake when he looked up and saw Jun Lingyi sitting by Qin-ji's side, their posture very intimate. He quickly covered Mu Yan's eyes. Jun Lingyi was helpless, thinking to herself that she was just applying medicine for Qin-ji. Mu Yin broke free from Duyu's grasp and ran towards Qin-ji, telling Jun Lingyi not to touch Qin-ji. He then quickly hugged Qin-ji. Jun Lingyi quickly got off the bed, not understanding why Mu Yin was looking at her with such a guarded expression, as if she were a ruthless flower-picking thief. She then explained that she was just applying medicine for Qin-ji and really wasn't doing anything strange. Diyu added that young master Bai had already treated the prince's wound, so the princess consort shouldn't overexert herself. Jun Lingyi spread her hands. She knew that even if she explained, it would be for nothing. That night, Jun Lingyi lay blissfully in bed, thinking that although she was misunderstood by Mu Yin, there were benefits. For example, now she finally didn't have to spend the night in Zieg Pavilion. Hugging her soft bed and quilt, she thought she would definitely get a good night's sleep tonight. But unexpectedly, Jun Lingyi suffered from insomnia. She couldn't fall asleep at all. In the morning, Jun Lingyi was very tired. She had tossed and turned all night without sleeping. This was not scientific. Outside Qin-ji's door, Lu Wei-chun and Bai Russian were arguing. Lu Wei-chun questioned why Bai Russian was here again, asking if he had ill intentions. He said he had to keep an eye on him. Jun Lingyi, holding a food box, greeted them friendly and invited them to visit the prince together. After the three entered, they saw Mu Yin sitting defensively on Qin-ji's bed. Jun Lingyi held up the food box and told Mu Yin that she was here to bring him food. Mu Yin asked if it was made by the same chef as yesterday. He received an affirmative answer. Mu Yin happily took the food box and left. Jun Lingyi tugged on Bai Russian's sleeve and asked if they could speak for a moment. Bai Russian agreed. Jun Lingyi asked Bai Russian if an unconscious person would toss, turn, and hug someone in their sleep. This made Bai Russian a bit puzzled. Jun Lingyi explained it wasn't the prince, but a friend of hers who asked her to inquire. Then she felt a burning sensation on her back, as if someone was staring at her. She turned around and saw it was Lu Wei-chun. Lu Wei-chun's expression was the same as the one Mu Yin gave her. Jun Lingyi covered her mouth and her eyes widened. She suspected that Lu Wei-chun might also have feelings for Qin-ji. Seeing Lu Wei-chun leaning over Qin-ji's shoulder and whispering, Jun Lingyi became even more certain of her thoughts. This ambiguous posture must be it. Qin-ji really liked to flirt around. Little did she know, Lu Wei-chun was secretly telling Qin-ji that if he kept sleeping, Jun Lingyi might be snatched away by someone else. But Qin-ji was certain known that Jun Lingyi would not be snatched away. Then, Qin slowly opened his eyes. He weakly asked for water. Hearing his voice, Jun Lingyi was surprised. Qin was awake. Could this be the power of love? Jun Lingyi carefully helped Qin up. Qin lay weakly in Jun Lingyi's arms. Jun Lingyi told Lu Weichun to give her the water in his hand. Lu Weichun watched as Jun Lingyi treated Qin so gently. He thought to himself that this fellow Qin was truly winning by just lying there. Jun Lingyi handed the water to Qin. Seeing such a warm atmosphere, Lu Weichun was hit by their public display of affection. Qin took the water and drank it all in one go. Bai Russian watched all of this, then suddenly turned and left. Lu Weichun wanted to call out to Bai Russian, but didn't have time. Lu Weichun explained that Bai Russian probably went to prescribe medicine, and he would go check on him. But inwardly, he was complaining. Bai Russian, a divine doctor who wasn't afraid of dying, was coveting another man's wife and being so obvious with his jealousy. As his brother, this was all he could do to cover for him. Just as Lu Weichun stepped out, he ran into Xiao Shitzi at the door. At this moment, Xiao Shitzi was looking angrily at Jun Lingyi. This woman was taking the opportunity to lean on his royal father again. Seeing the sudden appearance of Xiao Shitzi, Lu Weichun picked him up to take him away. But Xiao Shitzi grabbed the door frame and refused to leave. He wanted to see exactly what Jun Lingyi was going to do to his royal father. Lu Weichun was a bit helpless. This child had such a low level of awareness from a young age. He deserved to be tormented. Lu Weichun gave up on the idea of taking Xiao Shitzi with him and put him down. Inside the room, Qin finished his water. He felt like he had been sleeping for a long time and was a bit hungry. Jun Lingyi took the cup, preparing to have someone prepare a meal. Watching Jun Lingyi's departing figure, Qin called out to her, asking if she had learned to cook in the Zieg Pavilion. Jun Lingyi knew that Qin wanted her to cook for him. She was about to refuse, but before she could finish her sentence, Qin clutched his wound and feigned a look of pain. Jun Lingyi hurriedly asked with concern about Qin's injury. It turned out that there was nothing seriously wrong with Qin. He was just a little hungry. Jun Lingyi was a bit helpless and promised Qin she would go to the kitchen and try. Only then did Qin let her leave. Jun Lingyi walked out quickly, not greeting Xiao Shitzi, who was hiding behind the door. Xiao Shitzi watched Jun Lingyi leave. Qin got out of bed. Seeing Xiao Shitzi outside the door, he patted Xiao Shitzi's head. He told Xiao Shitzi it was time to go back, as he hadn't been to class for several days. Xiao Shitzi was a bit worried. He couldn't stop worrying about Jun Lingyi. He felt that Jun Lingyi was always being handsy with his royal father. So he asked his royal father, he probably didn't like Jun Lingyi being handsy with him either, right? Qin gave a perfunctory reply. Xiao Shitzi was a bit speechless. After a while, Jun Lingyi returned with food. When Jun Lingyi came back and didn't see Xiao Shitzi, she asked where he was. Qin replied that Xiao Shitzi had been called back by his teacher to do his homework. Hearing this, Jun Lingyi didn't say anything more, just a little embarrassed. She took out her food box and explained that she really couldn't cook, but since Qin wanted to eat, she made a simple dish of scrambled eggs. Jun Lingyi brought out the scrambled eggs, which looked decent, and told Qin not to dislike it. She had really tried her best, but she thought to herself she had tried her best to put in a whole kilogram of salt. Qin looked at the scrambled eggs and said frankly that Jun Lingyi's cooking skills were indeed poor. He hesitated to pick up his chopsticks. Jun Lingyi deliberately put on a hurt expression, feigning a retreat by offering to have the chef make something new for Qin. After all, Qin was injured and needed to be extra careful with his diet. As she spoke, Jun Lingyi was about to take the scrambled eggs away. Qin pressed down on Jun Lingyi's hand. He felt that since Jun Lingyi had gone to the trouble of cooking, it really shouldn't be wasted. Why not have you take it for Mu Yin to eat? Hearing this, Jun Lingyi didn't know what to say. This Qin was ruthless enough to trick his own son. It was really unlucky for Xiao Shitzi to have such a father. Jun Lingyi pulled her hand back and tactfully said that Xiao Shitzi was still growing, so it wasn't appropriate for him to eat the scrambled egg she made. It was better to let it go to waste. But Qin insisted on giving it to Mu Yin to eat. He felt there was nothing wrong with it. Mu Yin should be taught to be frugal from a young age. Jun Lingyi couldn't bring herself to do it and still refused, not wanting Xiao Shitzi to eat what she made. She said she might as well eat it herself. She silently complained to herself. Qin was really ruthless. How could he let a child as young as Muyin eat the food she made? As soon as Junlingyi's words fell, Qingji immediately agreed. The speed of his agreement left Junlingyi baffled. It seemed she had fallen into a trap. Junlingyi picked up some scrambled eggs, regretting it inwardly. If she had known this would happen, she wouldn't have put so much salt in it earlier. Qingji's conscience kicked in, and he stopped Junlingyi from continuing to pick up the scrambled eggs. Junlingyi looked at Qingji in confusion. Qingji calmly told Junlingyi that she still needed to prepare for pregnancy, so this wasn't suitable for her to eat. Junlingyi was horrified. That night, Qingji and Junlingyi were lying on the same bed. Junlingyi held a book to cover herself, but her mind was racing. Qingji had fought on the battlefield and had a strong constitution. Now that he was awake, he should be out of danger. There was no need for her to stay here and help anymore. The image of Qingji wanting to have a child with her flashed in her mind, making her feel disgusted. She couldn't help but think of that afternoon when he actually mentioned preparing for pregnancy to her. She was afraid that if she didn't leave soon, she would be the fish on the chopping block. So, Junlingyi made up her mind to confirm Qingji's current condition. If he was fine, she should start considering her departure. Junlingyi sat up and asked if Qingji's wound still hurt. Qingji was leisurely reading a book in bed. Although she had asked, Junlingyi felt a bit uneasy. Qingji told Junlingyi to come to his side. Junlingyi put on her shoes and obediently walked over, standing by Qingji's bed, waiting for what he would say next. However, Qingji asked Junlingyi to sit beside him. Junlingyi did as she was told. Qingji was curious why Junlingyi hadn't tried to escape these past few days. Junlingyi couldn't answer for a moment. The two looked at each other for a long time. Qingji sighed and was the first to speak, saying he was a bit tired and needed a rest. After Qingji lay down, Junlingyi tucked him in. She wanted to say something, but held back. She thought that if Qingji believed she had given up on escaping, he might let his guard down, making it more convenient for her to leave. Junlingyi yawned, feeling a bit tired as well. She decided to go back to Mengyu Pavilion to sleep. But before she could get up, Qingji's arm wrapped around her waist. He pulled Junlingyi onto the bed. By the time Junlingyi reacted, she was already lying in Qingji's arms. Looking at Qingji's sleeping face, Junlingyi felt a bit shy. She whispered Qingji's name softly, but got no response. She couldn't help but guess that Qingji must have fallen asleep. But what was this habit of his, randomly hugging people as soon as he fell asleep? At this moment, Junlingyi was extremely sleepy and didn't want to move. She simply gave up resisting and just slept like that. After Junlingyi closed her eyes and her breathing became steady, Qingji opened his eyes and pulled Junlingyi into a tighter embrace. In the morning, Tower came in with a basin of water. Junlingyi stretched, feeling that she had slept very well. However, she didn't see Qingji after waking up. Hearing that Qingji had already gone to the morning court session, she was puzzled. Qingji's injury had just started to get better. Why was he in such a hurry to attend court? Junlingyi bent over to wash up. Tower at the side felt that their visit to the ancestral hall was not in vain. It must be that Junlingyi's sincere prayers were heard by the ancestors, which was why the prince's life was saved. She then thought with some admiration about the old Master Yun who had read Junlingyi's birth chart and arranged for her to marry into the family to ward off ill fortune. He was truly divine. As soon as Junlingyi married in, Qingji returned safely from the battlefield. Now, he had once again turned peril into safety. Now that Qingji was awake, it probably wouldn't be long before the mansion would have a little heir. Hearing this, Junlingyi choked on water. Tower at the side worriedly handed her a handkerchief, asking how she was. Junlingyi thought to herself, "It's because you scared me. You're in such a hurry. Have you considered the prince's physical condition?" This mouthful of water made Junlingyi feel nauseous. She wiped her mouth with the handkerchief. Tower thought Junlingyi was coughing because she had been working too hard taking care of Qingji these past few days. Seeing Junlingyi looking like she was about to vomit, Tower covered her mouth, having a bold guess. Just then, Bairushan came in from outside and saw that Junlingyi had choked on water. Bairushan apologized for coming uninvited. Junlingyi wiped her cheek and told Bairushan that Qingji was not here right now. asking him to wait in the front hall. But Bai Russian told Junlingyi that he was here to see her. Although she didn't know why Bai Russian was looking for her, she still accepted his invitation. They went to the garden. Junlingyi told Tower not to follow them and to stand guard behind. Although worried, Tower did as she was told. After Tower left, Bai Russian took Junlingyi's pulse. Junlingyi asked how much longer she had to live. In the distance, Tower watched them, their proximity making her both curious and worried. She didn't know what they were talking about. Seeing Bai Russian taking Junlingyi's pulse, she thought they were holding hands. She suddenly remembered that Junlingyi had once said that Qin seemed to be somewhat incapable. Tower covered her mouth in horror, guessing if Junlingyi was planning to secretly substitute another man. Jun Rohue suddenly appeared, scaring Tower. Jun Rohue was also curious why Tower wasn't serving Junlingyi and was standing here instead. Tower was about to inform Junlingyi of Jun Rohue's arrival, but Jun Rohue stopped her. She had already seen Junlingyi. She also told Tower not to worry. After all, they were sisters, and she would look out for Junlingyi. Seeing Jun Rohue's malicious intent, Tower had a bad feeling. This Jun Rohue was definitely up to no good. She had to inform Junlingyi quickly. But just as Tower was about to speak, she was restrained by several of Jun Rohue's maids. They covered her mouth, preventing her from speaking, only allowing muffled sounds to escape. They tied Tower up. Jun Rohue looked at Tower arrogantly. She told her to watch the show from here. This was Junlingyi's own fault for not observing wifely virtues, giving her an opportunity to exploit. Jun Rohue conspired with the maids beside her. Junlingyi heard a strange noise in the distance and asked Bai Russian if he heard it, but Bai Russian didn't hear anything. Junlingyi just assumed she had misheard and told Bai Russian to leave first. The wind was picking up. Bai Russian told Junlingyi to go back quickly too. It was too cold by the pond, and Junlingyi was not dressed warmly enough to stay long. Before they could get far, Jun Rohue appeared. Jun Rohue blocked their path and pointedly asked Junlingyi to introduce the man before her. Seeing Jun Rohue appear, Junlingyi knew she hadn't misheard earlier. A rat had indeed entered the garden. Junlingyi pretended to be flustered and looked back at Jun Rohue, asking exaggeratedly how she could go out in clothes the color of a monkey's butt. Although Jun Rohue didn't understand what Junlingyi was saying, she knew Junlingyi must be cursing her. She stabilized her emotions. She couldn't get angry. She believed that in a moment, Junlingyi wouldn't be able to curse anymore. Indeed, the wind picked up. Junlingyi felt that Bai Russian was right. The wind by the pond was indeed very chilly. No matter what this Jun Rohue wanted to do, she had to get back quickly. Junlingyi hugged herself and turned to leave. But Jun Rohue blocked her again, questioning her about the man she was just being intimate with. She said she had seen everything and wanted to seek justice for the prince. Junlingyi was fearless, telling Jun Rohue to go find Qinji with her, saying she couldn't wait for Qinji to divorce her. Seeing Junlingyi being so straightforward, Jun Rohue was a bit incredulous. Then she understood. She thought Junlingyi believed she had no evidence, and if she brought it up before the prince, she would probably talk her way out of it and even accuse her of spreading rumors. She was really overthinking it. Junlingyi didn't know what Jun Rohue was up to. Jun Rohue checked the time. Qinji should be back from court soon. She sadistically asked Junlingyi if she fell into the pond, would the man from just now save her first? Or would Qinji save her first? Hearing this, Junlingyi knew what wicked idea Jun Rohue was brewing. She kicked her into the pond. Jun Rohue cried out from the pond that she couldn't swim, wanting someone to save her. But Junlingyi thought Jun Rohue was truly sick. If you want to push someone into the water, you have to announce it beforehand, afraid that others won't know. It was better to let her stay down there for a while. Soon, many people came up behind Junlingyi. Looking at the newcomers, Junlingyi was slightly embarrassed. Although the main cast had all arrived, the heroine of this incident had been swapped. When the maids saw that it was their own young miss who had fallen into the water, they all rushed to save her. At the side, Junlingyi sneezed from the cold. Bai Russian took off his outer coat to put it on Junlingyi, but she was suddenly pulled over by Qinji into his arms. He asked in a low voice if Junlingyi was still cold. This action left Junlingyi somewhat baffled. She could only say that she wasn't cold anymore. The rescued Jun Rohue sat disheveled on the ground. After coming to her senses, Jun Rohue stood up and pointed angrily at Jun Lingyi, about to curse her. Only then did she see the person behind Jun Lingyi was Qinji, so she pretended to be weak, deliberately saying that she had caught Jun Lingyi being intimate with another man, and that's why Jun Lingyi pushed her into the water. Moreover, Jun Lingyi was already part of the prince of Pingshi's mansion and shouldn't behave like this. Before she could finish, Jun Lingyi chimed in from the side, agreeing that Jun Rohue was absolutely right. She was waiting for Jun Rohue to say just that. She eagerly hoped for the storm and the divorce papers to come even more fiercely. Now, it was Jun Rohue's turn to be baffled. Jun Lingyi pushed by Russian away. Although she had to put a good-looking green hat on Qinji's head to leave the mansion, she didn't want to implicate by Russian, so she had to clear his name. Then she bowed to Qinji and told him that it was all her fault. She was the one who initiated the seduction. Before she could finish, Qinji suddenly lifted Jun Lingyi in a princess carry. Jun Lingyi thought, why is this guy not playing by the rules again? Jun Rohue gave Chuier a look. Chuier understood and shouted from behind Qinji that Jun Lingyi was unruly. Her young miss had fallen into the water in the prince's mansion, so there had to be some sort of explanation. Jun Lingyi also began to agree. She was indeed unruly and had even made Qinji a cuckold, planting a green forest on his head. The more Qinji listened, the angrier he got. He lowered his head and silenced Jun Lingyi's non-stop mouth with a kiss. Seeing Qinji's action, Jun Lingyi blushed a little. She hadn't drowned, so why was Qinji giving her artificial respiration? Qinji told Jun Lingyi to shut up. Then he told Diyu to clean up the scene. Diyu immediately complied. Watching Qinji carry Jun Lingyi away, by Russian left, heartbroken, Jun Rohue and Chuier were caught by the mansion guards, unable to struggle, still shouting. Diyu ordered them to be thrown out. Then he untied Tower. Tower felt like she had gotten all the gossip for the day. Her prince and princess consort were just too sweet. However, Tower felt that while the princess consort and the prince were such a good match, it was a pity the prince was gravely ill. She secretly resolved to help the princess consort, so they could remain this sweet forever. A ship you've created yourself must never be broken. Inside the room, Qinji sat on the bed, holding Jun Lingyi. Jun Lingyi was still sneezing. She was also a little curious. Wouldn't Qinji get tired in this position? Hearing Jun Lingyi's voice, Qinji finally moved. He took off Jun Lingyi's shoes, then tossed her onto the bed and pressed himself on top of her. Jun Lingyi tried to push Qinji away, reminding him that his wound hadn't healed yet. Qinji grabbed the quilt from the side and covered Jun Lingyi with it. Then he got up, sat down, picked up a book, and started reading. He calmly asked Jun Lingyi what she was thinking about just now. He said he was just afraid she was cold and didn't intend to do anything. Besides, he didn't like the color green, especially a fake one. He told Jun Lingyi not to do this again in the future. Jun Lingyi was a little curious. How did Qinji know that this green hat from By Russian was fake? If it were that idiot Ning Heshuan, it would be one thing for Qinji not to believe him. But By Russian was gentle and refined, his medical skills were superb, and he was a kind person. Jun Lingyi didn't understand why Qinji didn't believe it either. Hearing Jun Lingyi's praise for By Russian, Qinji stared at her sternly. Jun Lingyi obediently swore that the hat was definitely fake, feeling a little scared. Qinji's glare was too terrifying. She felt that if she kept talking, she would be done for. She started flattering Qinji again. Qinji's sagacity and martial prowess, his handsome and elegant bearing, his dashing and suave demeanor, had attracted a crowd of young ladies to fall at his feet. Qinji became a little embarrassed by the praise and coughed awkwardly. He started to change the subject, telling Jun Lingyi that what happened today was just because he wanted to shut her up. Jun Lingyi looked at Qinji's state and became a little suspicious. The more she looked at him, the more he seemed to be shy. She couldn't help but guess. Could it be that just now was Qinji's first kiss? After hearing this, Qinji coughed even more violently. This deepened Jun Lingyi's suspicion. She had thought that since Qinji always tried to get her into bed, he was an experienced player, but it turned out he was an innocent puppy. Qinji was a little annoyed. Of course, he couldn't compare to the experienced Jun Lingyi. Jun Lingyi grinningly accepted the compliment. Although she and Qinji were both 6 of one and half a dozen of the other, but since she had lived 2 lives, she absolutely couldn't let her cover be blown. Junlingyi was curious. With someone of Qinji's status, there should be plenty of maids to warm his bed. How could Qinji still have his first kiss? Could it be that he had a girl he admired? Speaking of the woman he admired, her image couldn't help but overlap with Junlingyi's. Junlingyi was immersed in her own fantasy. She had long been suspicious of Mu Yan's origins. If she wasn't mistaken, it must be like this. One was the god of war prince who brought glory to the nation. The other was a battlefield heroine who was no less than any man. On the war-torn frontier, they played out a tragic love story. It was just such a pity. Now one had become a chaste, single father, committed to a lifetime of celibacy. The other had lost even her child, yet never received a kiss. Junlingyi voiced her speculation. She felt that the woman Qinji admired was now missing. But if Qinji trusted her, he could tell her the details. For her brother's lifelong happiness, she would definitely do her best to help him find her. However, she also hoped that once Qinji found that person, he would let her leave. Qinji flicked Junlingyi's forehead, telling her to stop fantasizing. He told her that he had been on campaigns since he was young, rarely saw women, and was not fond of female company. Speaking of not being fond of female company, Junlingyi didn't believe it. Could it be that Mu Yan popped out from a crack in a rock? Suddenly, Junlingyi thought of something. Yanning was interested in him. Lu Weichen's behavior towards him was ambiguous. He wasn't close to women, and his first kiss was still intact. Could it be that Qinji was a cut sleeve? If that was the case, Yanning still had a chance. She wondered between Qinji and Yanning, who would be on top and who would be on the bottom. Seeing Junlingyi starting her unrealistic fantasies again, Qinji promptly called her back to reality. A knock came from the door. It was Tower, bringing ginseng soup. After getting permission, Tower walked in carrying freshly stewed black chicken and ginseng soup. She placed the soup on the table with a knowing, ant-like smile. Junlingyi was intoxicated by the aroma. She asked Qinji if he wanted some too, but Qinji refused and continued flipping through his book. Just as Junlingyi was tasting it, she found the flavor of the ginseng soup a bit strong. Suddenly, there was a clatter. Qinji anxiously approached Junlingyi, concerned about her condition. At this moment, Junlingyi's face was completely red. She knew Tower had drugged the soup. Seeing Junlingyi's unnatural complexion, Qinji was anxious to find the imperial physician. Junlingyi grabbed Qinji and fell into his arms. She told him she had been drugged with an aphrodisiac. Junlingyi lay in Qinji's arms. At this moment, Junlingyi only felt a burning heat all over her body. The Qinji in front of her seemed very delectable. Her hands unconsciously lifted Qinji's sleeves. Qinji was stirred by this. Just when he thought Junlingyi was about to do something, she suddenly pinched her own arm. The pain brought Qinji to his senses. Qinji let go and released Junlingyi. Junlingyi fell backward, steadying herself on the table. Although Junlingyi was still very weak, she felt much better. Looking at Junlingyi, Qinji thought for a moment, then turned and left, preparing to bring her some cold water. After fetching the water, Qinji saw Junlingyi slumped over the table, pulling at her own clothes and constantly crying out that she was hot. Seeing this, Qinji picked Junlingyi up. In Qinji's arms, Junlingyi felt as if she had been saved, feeling cool and comfortable. Qinji looked down at Junlingyi's appearance. Feeling rather helpless, Qinji walked to the side of a water bucket and tossed Junlingyi in. Junlingyi was aghast. She stood up and yelled for Qinji. Qinji looked innocent. Did Junlingyi not want cold water to help her? Junlingyi watched Qinji pulling at his own clothes. She panicked, quickly sat down, and told Qinji to calm down. She didn't need a human antidote. Not at all. Watching Qinji's departing back, Junlingyi finally felt relieved and let out a big sigh. She thought to herself, one must not covet a friend's wife. She had finally not betrayed Yanning. After a long while, Junlingyi felt much better. She shouted towards the door for Qinji, asking him to help her get a change of clothes. But it turned out Qinji was busy. Forget it. It's better to rely on oneself than on others. Junlingyi came out by herself, soaking wet. She grabbed a piece of clothing and draped it over herself. Junlingyi sneezed as she put on her clothes. This body of hers was really too weak now. It couldn't stand the slightest chill. Seeing Qinji walking naked, Junlingyi blushed and was momentarily speechless. Qingji sighed, tossed his own clothes to Junlingyi, and told her to wear more. Junlingyi's cheeks were bright red. She thought Qingji was actually stark naked. This was too explosive. She really couldn't take it anymore. She felt she needed to soak a while longer. So, Junlingyi went back into the bucket, feeling much more comfortable. She couldn't help but recall the scene from just now. She had to admit, Qingji's physique was completely inconsistent with the rumors she had spread. He was quite well built. It seems the one on the bottom must be Yin Ning. At this moment, Qingji was also soaking in another bucket. His fingers dipped in the water. He unconsciously wrote Junlingyi's name on the side of the bucket. Inside Mingyu Pavilion, Tower saw Junlingyi return and hurried forward to greet her. She curiously asked if there was hope this time for conceiving a little heir. She had inquired at several brothels, and they all said this medicine was the most effective. Tower, thinking of Qingji's condition, had added a dose for 4 people. Currently, the little heir of the Pingxi Wang mansion was not Junlingyi's biological child, and Junlingyi's background was not high. She had to give birth to a healthy baby boy for Qingji to secure her position in the mansion. Junlingyi was a little angry. She slammed the cup in her hand onto the table. She warned Tower never to do this again. Seeing that Junlingyi was angry, Tower quickly knelt in fear. Junlingyi felt helpless. Although she knew Tower meant well, some things couldn't be rushed. Even if Qingji had some deficiencies, they couldn't use such methods. Tower explained that she had asked before buying it. This medicine could be used even by someone just recovering from a serious illness. Moreover, she heard that under the effect of this medicine, the chances of having a boy would be greater. If Junlingyi didn't believe her, she could ask the imperial physician to examine the ingredients. Tower knew some medicine. She felt this was really the best way. Junlingyi lowered her head, thinking that Tower really hadn't realized her mistake at all. But she had heard her mother was a midwife, so it was no wonder Tower had a mysterious obsession with childbirth. Junlingyi leaned close to Tower and told her the prince had an adverse reaction to the medicine. Tower thought for a moment and was about to speak, but Junlingyi knew she was thinking of another bad idea. She quickly stopped her, telling her not to use any other medicine either. If she dared to drug the soup again, she would kick her into a basin of cold water to soak for 4 hours. Seeing Junlingyi's menacing look, Tower was terrified. Meanwhile, Diyu knocked on Junlingyi's door. Qingji had sent him to deliver soup. Tower went to open the door. Diyu came in and handed the stewed red dates with brown sugar to Tower. He told her that his master, the prince, had ordered someone to make it. Also, Lord Lu would be hosting a birthday banquet at the Lu mansion in 3 days. The prince wanted Junlingyi to accompany him. Junlingyi listened from the side, apologized to Diyu, and told him she understood. His task completed, Diyu turned and left. The two returned to the room. Junlingyi sat on a chair, and Tower brought the stewed red dates with brown sugar to her. Junlingyi was a little puzzled, not knowing why the prince would suddenly send soup to her lady, and it was stewed red dates with brown sugar. Isn't this something you drink after catching a chill? Junlingyi didn't explain. In her heart, she felt that Qingji was quite thoughtful. But regarding Lord Lu's birthday, why didn't Qingji tell her himself just now? Instead, he had Diyu pass on a message. Suddenly, the image of Qingji's bare upper body from earlier appeared in her mind. She realized that in that situation, it really wouldn't have been appropriate to say anything. 3 days later, at the Lu mansion, Qingji and Junlingyi arrived. The two entered the mansion hand in hand. Junlingyi found Qingji's actions a bit strange, but she didn't say anything. The guards and maids outside bowed one by one. Junlingyi understood in her heart. Qingji was putting on a show with her in front of others. When the guards and maids saw Qingji and Junlingyi holding hands so tightly, their faces flushed and their hearts pounded. The two entered the mansion. Everyone inside knelt and bowed. Qingji majestically told them to rise. Then he and Junlingyi sat down at their designated seats. Shun Mao, the son of Minister Shun, looked at Junlingyi, stroking his chin in thought. Junlingyi was actually quite attractive. Su Ran, the eldest daughter of Minister Su, didn't think so. She felt Junlingyi was just a little girl who hadn't fully developed yet, with no real beauty to speak of. Wu Yan, the daughter of the vice minister, chimed in. If it weren't for Junlingyi's slightly better birth chart, how would she have had the chance to marry into the prince's mansion? Even her older sister wasn't worthy of carrying the prince's shoes. Su Ran reminded Wu Yin to be careful with her words, as the Jun family's eldest daughter had also arrived. Seeing Jun Hiru, Shin Mao's eyes lit up. He thought to himself, as expected of someone a few years older than Junlingi, Jun Hiru's figure was very graceful. In comparison, Junlingi did seem a bit immature and delicate. People behind them also discussed in low voices. With the two sisters wearing dresses of the same color, it seemed Jun Hiru was prettier than Junlingi. Hearing everyone's praise and feeling their envious gazes, Jun Hiru thought to herself that her efforts had not been in vain. She had sent someone to find out what Junlingi would wear. She just wanted to outshine Junlingi. Jun Hiru stopped in front of Qin and curtsied to him. Then, putting on a pitiable expression, she asked for Qin forgiveness for what happened at the prince's mansion a few days ago. Jun Hiru's words became the focus of the entire hall. No one knew what the misunderstanding was. Some thought that with her younger sister married into the prince's mansion, she was using her proximity to her advantage. Others thought, what kind of misunderstanding could there be between a man and a woman? Qin glanced over coldly. Everyone fell silent. Qin looked at Junlingi, casting a questioning gaze. He asked if Jun Hiru had been to the mansion. Junlingi was also completely baffled by the question. Under the table, Qin secretly squeezed Junlingi's palm. Junlingi immediately understood. With a sudden realization, she said bluntly that she didn't remember either and didn't know when Jun Hiru had visited the mansion. Jun Hiru didn't expect that the two of them would deny it. For a moment, everyone whispered among themselves. They didn't expect Jun Hiru to try to curry favor with the prince. What a slap in the face. So embarrassing. Jun Hiru was a little hurt. She spoke up, saying she had just brought some things for Junlingi, and perhaps they had forgotten, thus giving herself a way out. She bid farewell to Qin and Junlingi and was about to leave. But Wu Yin'er complained to Su Ran on the side. As expected, the older one isn't even worthy of carrying the prince's shoes. Su Ran felt, but isn't the younger one quite favored by the prince? Wu Yin'er had already inquired. The younger one was just a loudmouth fool in the Jun mansion. There's no way the prince would take a liking to her. He's just using her as a pawn to fend off other women. She had also heard that someone had prepared a big show for today to make Junlingi lose face. When the time comes, the prince won't be able to stand it and will surely divorce her. She flattered Su Ran, saying that if she became the princess consort in the future, she must invite her for a drink. These words were very pleasing to Su Ran. Although her face was flushed, she was extremely satisfied in her heart. Wu Yin saw Lord Lu arrive and told Su Ran the good show was about to begin. Lord Lu arrived with a group of people, first bowing to Qin. But in his heart, he was thinking about the scene he had just heard about at the mansion gate. A man who has married a new bride is indeed different, holding her hand wherever he goes. This glance, however, was not so innocent in Junlingi's mind. She thought Lu Weichun was making flirtatious glances, which further convinced her that the relationship between him and Qin was not simple. It was just a pity for her Yin Ning, whose sincere feelings were misplaced. Lu Weichun came to his seat, raised his wine cup, and thanked everyone for attending his birthday banquet today. Today, they would not go home until they were drunk. After 3 rounds of drinks, everyone was tipsy. Wu Wei looked at the dancer on the stage, feeling that her dancing was good, but the music was lacking. So he spoke up, "I have long heard that the eldest daughter of Vice Minister Jun plays the Qin beautifully. I wonder if we might have the pleasure of seeing it today." Jun Hiru flicked her hair and generously accepted, deciding to perform a piece to congratulate Lu Weichun on his birthday. Lu Weichun thanked Jun Hiru verbally, but in his heart, he thought, "Can I choose not to listen?" He turned his head and met Qin cold gaze, feeling helpless. "This isn't my fault. I didn't invite Jun Hiru. She came uninvited." Jun Hiru went on stage to borrow the dancer's Qin. Looking at Junlingi below, she thought to herself that as a lady with no talents, Junlingi must surely feel ashamed now. Junlingi felt bored. Listening to the Qin was not as good as enjoying the fragrant food. She had to listen to Jun Hiru play the Qin every day at the Jun mansion, to the point of wanting to vomit. She never expected that even after getting married, she would still have to listen to her play. It was really too much. Qin saw Junlingi about to drink again and quickly reminded her to drink less. Duyu whispered something in Qin's ear, and Qin suddenly got up and left. The Prime Minister's son, Chun Zhongying, had a look of someone watching a good show. On stage, Jun Hiru caressed the Qin strings and played a piece called High Mountains and Flowing Water. The sound of the Qin was as crisp as a mountain spring flowing. like birds chirping in the forest, truly wonderful. She truly lives up to her widespread fame. This level of skill should be considered top tier in the capital. Chun Zhongying praised Junhiro, saying that after half a month, her qin skills had improved significantly. Junhiro thanked Chun Zhongying for his appreciation. However, Chun Zhongying mentioned that Qinji probably didn't enjoy listening to Junhiro's music since he left before it was even finished. Hearing this, the hand Junlingyi was using to pour wine trembled slightly. She quickly put on a fake smile. Chun Zhongying deliberately made things difficult for Junlingyi, saying that since she came from a Jun family, she should also be able to play the qin well. Otherwise, the prince wouldn't have left so suddenly. He must have heard the princess consort's excellent playing so often at home that he didn't need to listen to this one. The crowd below also started to clamor, wondering if they would be fortunate enough to hear Junlingyi's qin performance today. Now that the Prince of Pingxi is not here, the princess consort can't disappoint everyone. Junhiro also chimed in, saying she hadn't heard Junlingyi play in many years and would also like her to perform a piece. Junlingyi lowered her head in silence. Lu Weichen screamed internally for Qinji. If he didn't come back soon, his wife would be eaten alive. Someone even started banging on the table. He felt Junlingyi was just sitting there, wasting everyone's time. If you can't play, just say so. At worst, you can drink as a forfeit. You can't play the qin. Can it be you can't drink either? Dilly-dallying? I don't know what you're pretending for. This person was really bold. He must have been drunk. In an instant, there was dead silence. Lu Weichun cleared his throat, planning to smooth things over. After all, he couldn't let the situation get out of hand. Junlingyi found it amusing. She curiously asked who this rather ill-tempered person was. The man introduced himself as Wu Wei. Then he stood up with a mocking tone, clearly looking down on Junlingyi. I wonder if you're calling me over to offer me a drink, or to act pitiful when your prince arrives? Everyone thought Wu Wei was crazy. No matter what, Junlingyi was the Prince of Pingxi's person. How dare he provoke her so openly now? But Junhiro had already seen through everything. When this fellow Wu Wei drinks, he has no filter. But it was good if things got chaotic. It would be more advantageous for her. With a disdainful look, Junlingyi stood up and walked over. Seeing Junlingyi's posture, Lu Weichen knew he didn't need to intervene. Junlingyi's aura was somewhat similar to Qinji's. They were truly a family. Junlingyi sat down leisurely. Her fingertips plucked out a few tinkling notes. Jeers came from the crowd again. Seeing her posture just now, they thought she was some kind of expert. Turns out she's never learned the qin. Wu Wei also laughed. If you can't play, don't force it. It's better to have a couple of drinks. Junlingyi remained unmoved. She began to play. They recognized it. The piece Junlingyi was playing was the same one Junhiro had just played. Listening to the beautiful music, Junhiro clenched her handkerchief, feeling unwilling to accept it. She had practiced day and night to play this piece well. How could Junlingyi possibly play better than her? It was absolutely impossible. Someone else chimed in. The princess consort is truly amazing. It seems Junhiro not only knows how to play the qin, but also how to teach it. It's just that in this case, the student has surpassed the master. Junhiro wiped her sweat and awkwardly explained that the princess consort was a quick learner. But in her heart, she was cursing Junlingyi, thinking that Junlingyi knew how to play all along, and had hidden it from her to make her look like a fool. Wu Wei was disdainful. So Junlingyi learned to play the qin from Junhiro. Junhiro so generously asked her play, yet Junlingyi deliberately played the same piece to compete with her older sister. Isn't that a bit despicable? Hearing this, Junlingyi grew annoyed. The style of her playing changed, becoming sonorous and powerful. It was as if they were on a battlefield. The crowd felt completely immersed. At this moment, Qinji also arrived. He had the person beside him step forward to accompany her on the flute. One flute, one qin, made the piece even more complete. When the piece ended, everyone was left wanting more. It was truly too thrilling. They felt as if they had seen wounded soldiers raising the banner of victory. This piece was played even better than High Mountains and Flowing Water just now. After finishing the piece, Junlingyi poured herself a cup of wine and drank it in one gulp. Then she looked at Wu Wei. I played my piece, and I've had my drink. Now it's your turn. Wu Wei hadn't expected Junlingyi to be so formidable. Flustered, he took the wine pot and drank it all. Junlingyi came before Junhiro and offered to toast her as well. That High Mountains and Flowing Water of hers, I heard it every day at the Jun Mansion. I just imitated it a moment ago. I didn't play it very well. I hope Junhiro can forgive me. After all, I'm really not used to playing such pieces. Jun Huru angrily clenched her fists, though her expression remained normal. She really hadn't expected that Jun Lingyi could play so well and with such perfect harmony with that young master. It must not have been their first time playing together. The people below were led by Jun Huru's line of thought, feeling there must be something going on between the two of them. Their harmony was just too perfect. Russian is usually a man of few words and keeps to himself. How could he play a duet with a woman? Today's scene is indeed very strange. But Jun Lingyi retorted directly, I played with Russian. What does that have to do with him? Then she turned and left. Jun Huru didn't expect Jun Lingyi to disrespect her so publicly. She gritted her teeth and secretly resolved that since Jun Lingyi had embarrassed her so much today, she would definitely not let her get away with it. Qin Ji's brows were tightly furrowed. He felt that in his absence, Jun Lingyi had been too reckless. Russian greeted Qin Ji and then brushed past him as he left. Jun Huru still wanted to guide Qin Ji's thoughts. But before she could speak, Qin Ji gave Du a look. Du drew his sword and asked if Jun Huru had something to say. Jun Huru was so scared she didn't dare say another word. Qin Ji stepped forward, took Jun Lingyi's hand, and stroked it gently. He told her the qin strings were sharp and to be careful with her fingers. Everyone watched this loving display between Qin Ji and Jun Lingyi. They all found it incredible. Who on earth said this princess consort was just for show? It certainly didn't look like it. After the two sat down, Jun Lingyi whispered to Qin Ji that the act was a bit over the top. Lord Lu was still watching from the side. At this moment, Lu Weichen was holding his forehead, feeling a headache coming on. He didn't know what kind of holy light of love this pair was emitting, but it was blinding his poor eyes. The atmosphere was becoming progressively awkward. Jun Lingyi reflected. A perfectly good birthday party had been turned into this. She was really a scapegoat. She hoped Lu Weichen wouldn't be too upset. Lu Weichen came forward and told everyone not to be reserved. Serve the wine. Continue the music. Continue the dancing. Seeing the wine being served, Jun Lingyi's eyes lit up. Finally, on the way home after the banquet ended, Jun Lingyi was dead drunk and feeling very sick. Qin Ji had the attendant stop the carriage and helped Jun Lingyi out to vomit. He didn't know how much wine Jun Lingyi had drunk while he was away to end up vomiting like this. Qin Ji wanted to help Jun Lingyi back into the carriage, but she refused. Seeing how fierce Jun Lingyi was, the people nearby all looked over. Qin Ji suppressed his anger and spoke again. But Jun Lingyi refused to get into the carriage at all. She said riding in a carriage made her want to vomit, and she didn't want to ride in one. As she spoke, Jun Lingyi started to fall to the ground. Qin Ji quickly caught Jun Lingyi, pulling her into his arms. Jun Lingyi clung to Qin Ji, thinking he was a horse and that she was going to ride him back. The passing attendants and maids all pretended not to see. They didn't hear Qin Ji's annoyed and stern call of Jun Lingyi's name. Jun Lingyi just looked at Qin Ji with a wronged expression. Helpless, Qin Ji called over Du, telling him to take the servants back to the mansion. He himself had Jun Lingyi stand up straight. He then bent down, letting Jun Lingyi climb onto his back as if in compromise. Jun Lingyi was overjoyed and happily climbed on. Qin Ji felt he must be crazy to actually act as Jun Lingyi's horse. Because she was drunk, Jun Lingyi became even more reckless. Lying on Qin Ji's back, Jun Lingyi randomly sang the theme song from The Legend of the White Snake. Hearing the line, "Growing old together is right before our eyes," Qin Ji was touched and repeated it. Jun Lingyi caressed Qin Ji's cheek. She curiously asked Qin Ji how his skin could be so good despite being exposed to the wind and sun on the battlefield for years. She wondered how many face masks he used a day. Listening to Jun Lingyi's strange words, Qin Ji was baffled. He didn't know what a face mask was. Jun Lingyi looked at Qin Ji's face and started talking to herself. Qin Ji was handsome, skilled in martial arts, and of high status. No wonder so many people liked him. She had helped him fend off many of them and taken the blame for so much. So, she wanted to ask Qin Ji for some benefits. Qin Ji didn't know what Jun Lingyi wanted, but Jun Lingyi felt that even if she asked, Qin Ji might not be able to give it to her. Qin Ji shrewdly guessed that Jun Lingyi must want a divorce letter. Jun Lingyi played with Qin Ji's hair, wanting to introduce a boyfriend to him. She said her buddy was quite young and handsome, from a somewhat wealthy family. She had always seen his feelings for Qin Ji, so Jun Lingyi wanted to play matchmaker. She proposed setting Qin up with her good buddy. If Qin was interested, she could treat them both to a meal another day. She would cook herself so they could get to know each other well. Qin didn't respond, which troubled Junling. She guessed that his silence meant he already had a boyfriend, so it wasn't convenient. Qin placed Junling on the bed. Junling continued to think to herself. If Qin really had a boyfriend, then she would have to tell her good buddy to stop thinking about Qin. Qin pinned Junling beneath him, telling her that he didn't like men. Junling was drunk and incredibly bold at the moment, not finding their current position inappropriate at all. She even reached out and touched Qin cheek, doubting whether he really disliked men. Qin knew he couldn't continue. He couldn't take advantage of her. He grabbed Junling's restless hands. But Junling thought Qin must have grabbed her because she had guessed correctly. If he didn't like men, why would he stop her? She told him not to worry, that she would help him keep his secret, that he liked men. As long as she was around, she could provide cover for him. But if Qin wanted to elope with his lover in the future, he must let her go. Qin couldn't listen anymore and directly sealed Junling's lips with a kiss to stop her from talking. Junling was a little breathless and bit Qin's lip. Qin, in sharp pain, let go of Junling. Junling cried aggrievedly. How could Qin just bite people? So annoying. Qin looked at the unreasonable Junling, feeling a headache coming on. His own lip was bitten and bleeding. Who exactly bit whom? The next second, Junling yawned, rolled over, and went to sleep. Qin asked Junling why she wanted to leave. Junling didn't answer. She burrowed into Qin's arms and fell into a deep sleep. The next morning, Junling slowly woke up, her head still aching a little. She heard Qin's voice by her ear again. Junling turned her head and met Qin's gaze. She quickly pulled the blanket over herself. Seeing Qin lying lazily to one side, his abs faintly visible, Junling felt more and more like she had been served. She hurriedly checked herself. Thankfully, her clothes were still on. A disaster had likely been averted. Qin sat up. Junling cautiously asked Qin if she had done anything inappropriate last night since she had drunk too much. Qin told Junling that she was quite fierce last night. Junling was speechless. Fierce? What kind of adjective was that? She had no idea what she had done last night. Junling truly had no memory of it all. Someone reported from outside the door that Lord Lu had arrived and wished to see Qin. Before the person was even seen, Lu Weichen's voice could be heard. Qin remembered that Junling was still there, so he wanted to have a servant tell Lu Weichen to come back later. But Junling was eager to leave, telling Qin there was no need for him to come back later, as she would return to Manor Pavilion first. As soon as Junling stepped out, she ran into Lu Weichen. The two brushed past each other. Junling noticed Lu Weichen's expression was a bit strange and thought he was displeased to see her coming out of Qin's room. Inside, Lu Weichen had come bearing a thorny stick to apologize. He really hadn't expected last night to turn out that way, so he came today to admit his mistake to Qin. Then, with a thud, he knelt down, his face full of remorse. He took off his outer robe and asked Qin to beat him. The moment Junling re-entered the room, she saw a shirtless Lu Weichen with a sorrowful look on his face. Her imagination ran wild. Perhaps if she had come a little later, she would have seen Qin holding a small wooden stick disciplining Lu Weichen. At this thought, Junling covered her mouth and snickered. She hadn't expected Qin to have such kinky tastes. Junling's jade pendant had been left here. She had come back to find it. After searching around, she found it on the bed. Afraid Lu Weichen would misunderstand, she specifically explained to him that she was drunk last night and nothing had happened with Qin. Then she fled in a panic. Qin was a little displeased. He told Lu Weichen to get dressed and get up quickly. After getting dressed and standing up, Lu Weichen was still feeling smug. Perhaps he had done something wrong, but he felt he had done Qin a huge favor. He then teased Qin about his broken lip, wondering if it was a bite mark. It seemed last night's battle was quite intense. At the mention of this, Qin's anger flared. He told Lu Weichen that yesterday, Junling had actually tried to introduce a man to him. This left Lu Weichen somewhat stunned. Junling actually thought Qin liked men. Qin was also very helpless. Lu Weichen was speechless, thinking to himself that the woman Qin liked was truly extraordinary. Inside Manor Pavilion, Junling was taking a bath when a memory suddenly surfaced in her mind. The scene of her trying to introduce a man to Qin last night. It made Junling panic. This was too socially awkward. She actually said she wanted to introduce a boyfriend to Qin. She couldn't help but feel annoyed. He already is Lu Wei-chun, she thought. My mouth really runs away with me. Alcohol is really not a good thing. I must quit drinking. A small bird squeezed in through a crack in the window. It flew onto Jun Lingyi's finger. The bird delivered a message to Jun Lingyi from Yanming. Everything has been arranged. Tonight, he will disguise himself as an attendant and leave through the side gate of the prince's mansion. Jun Lingyi understood and let the bird go. She thought that Qinji's body had mostly recovered, and it was time for her to leave. At night, Jun Lingyi packed the bundle she intended to take. She also had to find a way to send Tower away to prevent her from discovering her escape. Just then, Tower arrived at the door, asking if Jun Lingyi had finished her bath. Jun Lingyi let Tower in. As soon as Tower opened her mouth, Jun Lingyi asked if Tower was there to clean the bathtub. Then, pretending to be sleepy, she told Tower she was going to rest, and that after cleaning up, she should also go rest and not come back to serve her. She also didn't need to be called at night. If anyone came looking for her, she was to say she had retired. The words Tower wanted to say ultimately remained unspoken. She thought that if she told the princess about this, she would most likely be shy. It was better to let her discover it herself. Tower's mood turned from cloudy to sunny. She thought, with this, the princess giving birth to a child is just around the corner. Late at night, Jun Lingyi changed her clothes, took her bundle, and prepared to leave, thinking, farewell forever, Qinji. Actually, these past few days have been quite interesting. From now on, no one would have to face her, the bride married to ward off ill fortune. Everyone's days should be better. Thinking that she could finally leave the prince's mansion, Jun Lingyi felt a little down. Suddenly, Jun Lingyi stopped in her tracks. Someone in front of her blocked her path, telling her the prince had summoned her. They had recognized her as the princess. She looked left and right, pretending to be looking for the princess. She even bowed deeply to the empty air, muttering, "Long live the princess for thousands and thousands of years." This left the attendants baffled. They all suspected this person was probably not the princess, but just an ordinary passerby. Just as Jun Lingyi breathed a sigh of relief, Du appeared. He told the attendants that this person was indeed the princess and ordered them to apprehend her. Jun Lingyi was still acting, pretending to be a commoner, telling them she had never done anything wrong and that her family was clean for 18 generations. The attendants didn't listen to a word. They picked Jun Lingyi up and carried her away. Although Jun Lingyi was still shouting for help, they couldn't stand it anymore. A cloth was stuffed into Jun Lingyi's mouth. Jun Lingyi could only make muffled sounds. Soon, they arrived at Zuishan courtyard. Qinji stood with his back to Jun Lingyi. Jun Lingyi didn't recognize him at first and could only brace herself and tell him they had caught the wrong person. Qinji turned around and looked at Jun Lingyi sternly, threatening her. "Do I have to strip you to prove your identity?" Qinji approached Jun Lingyi, exuding a suppressive aura, and asked where she was going. But Jun Lingyi told him that the moonlight was lovely tonight. She had been in the mansion and felt a bit bored, so she changed her clothes to go for a stroll, experience the hardships of the common people, and help the prince better understand the populace. But in her heart, she thought, why is Qinji standing so close? What is he planning to do? He couldn't be thinking of beating me, could he? Qinji picked up the bundle beside her, clearly not believing Jun Lingyi's story. "Do you need to carry a bundle to go for a stroll?" Jun Lingyi continued to make up lies, using the excuse that it was late and freezing cold. She was afraid of freezing outside, so she brought the bundle. Qinji ignored her excuses and directly opened the bundle. The contents spilled all over the floor. There wasn't a single piece of clothing. Jun Lingyi was momentarily speechless. Looking at the contents of the bundle, she was also on the verge of a breakdown. What was all this stuff? Qinji picked up a book, flipped through it, his expression turning ugly. He asked Jun Lingyi, "It's freezing cold. Is this what you use to keep warm?" Jun Lingyi blushed, thinking to herself that the woman in the book was quite flexible. Just as her thoughts began to wander, she suddenly came to her senses. She was also confused. This wasn't right. Why was her bundle full of these kind of books? How was she supposed to explain this to Qinji? Qinji looked at Jun Lingyi and threw the book in his hand to the ground. He pushed Jun Lingyi down, looking at Qinji's approaching face. Jun Lingyi covered Qinji's mouth, telling him to calm down. "Are you being fair to the bite mark Lord Lu left on your lip that night?" Qinji grew even angrier. He grabbed Junlingyi's hands to stop her from struggling and kissed her directly. But Junlingyi thought to herself, I didn't expect Qinji's taste to be this extreme. Just me wearing men's clothes is enough to arouse his interest. This is terrible, terrible. Qinji lifted his head and told Junlingyi to take a good look at who left the mark. Junlingyi was a little confused. From what Qinji was saying, was the wound on his lip from her biting him while drunk yesterday. So he was getting revenge on her now. Qinji told Junlingyi to be more obedient and kissed her again. Then his hand started to roam, stripping Junlingyi clean. Junlingyi told Qinji that she was a woman and that his body wasn't up to it. Qinji didn't listen at all and bit directly onto Junlingyi's neck. Junlingyi was terrified, realizing she couldn't say Qinji wasn't capable. How could a prince not be capable? Even just for the sake of his pride, he would take her right then and there. Just as Qinji's hand was about to touch Junlingyi's waist, Junlingyi had a flash of inspiration. She made the excuse that her period had come, feeling a bit embarrassed. But Qinji got off the bed immediately and told her to go get changed. Only then did Junlingyi realize that her period had actually come. She thought to herself, is my period chow chow? It's so obedient, coming as soon as it's mentioned. Qinji told Junlingyi that a maid was outside the door and would take her change. Watching Qinji leave so quickly, Junlingyi thought, this Qinji runs so fast. There's no need to avoid it like the plague. Meanwhile, Qinji started taking a bath again. But Junlingyi also came here to change her clothes, unaware that Qinji was right behind the screen. Junlingyi walked in with her clothes. She closed the door, still thinking that Qinji probably wasn't here. So she was about to take off all her clothes. But she suddenly heard Qinji's voice. He told Junlingyi to change somewhere else. This startled Junlingyi as well. She grabbed her clothes and ran off quickly, wondering about the layout of this room. Why put such a tall mirror there? It made her not even see someone was there. Her luck has been so bad lately. Mercury in retrograde, plus a clash of fortunes. That night, as Junlingyi lay in bed, Qinji came again. Looking at Junlingyi's sleeping face, he also got into bed and kissed her. He looked at Junlingyi with some helplessness, asking himself why she had to run away. In Junlingyi's dream, there was a big teddy bear coming towards her. Although it was big, it was very warm, until she felt a bit hot and wanted the teddy bear to let go. She wondered to herself why this teddy bear felt so much like a furnace. Junlingyi gradually woke up. She saw Qinji sitting beside her reading a book, who even greeted her. This startled Junlingyi. She thought, so there really is a teddy bear. Qinji didn't understand, not knowing who Teddy was. Junlingyi coughed awkwardly twice and asked Qinji if he didn't have to attend the morning court today. Only then did Qinji get up and tell Junlingyi that he wanted to wait for her to wake up before going. Junlingyi puffed her cheeks in anger. Qinji was guarding her like a thief. It would probably be even harder to escape in the future. Qinji, getting dressed, left Junlingyi stunned. Previously, Junlingyi thought the old emperor looked quite silly in this official uniform. She never expected Qinji to look so good in it. Qinji leaned over and patted Junlingyi's head, telling her he was leaving. The brown sugar water on the table was freshly heated and she should drink it in a while. The hand warmer and hot water bottle had also been prepared by Duyu. She could use them on the way back to the mansion. Junlingyi touched the spot where Qinji had just patted her, thinking, why does Qinji seem so gentle today? Then she thought, they say playboys are friends to all women. It's true. Qinji usually seems cold and taciturn, but unexpectedly, he's quite thoughtful. So she also prepared to get up, pack up, and return to the mansion. She caught a glimpse of a book that had fallen by the bed. She picked it up and looked. Wasn't this the book from her bundle? Qinji was actually looking at this kind of thing so early in the morning. Inside Mingyu Pavilion, Junlingyi held the book and asked Tower if she was the one who prepared the bundle. Tower readily admitted it to Junlingyi. She knew it was her doing again, but she couldn't say much, only telling Tower not to bring them anymore. The prince's injuries hadn't fully healed, so the matter of having a child needed to be postponed. Tower was very understanding. She knew the princess was worried about the prince's health. Page 18 of this book and page 16 of the other book both have energy-saving and convenient methods. They guarantee the prince won't be overworked. Junlingyi was speechless. For an unmarried young maiden, Tower seemed to know a bit too much. This wholehearted dedication to continuing the royal lineage was simply admirable. Suddenly, Jun Lingyi's eyes lit up. She asked Tower if there were any methods in the books suitable for two men. Tower pointed out that the fourth book, page 3, and the sixth book, page 13, both had some. She just didn't know what use the princess had for this information. A knock came from outside. Jun Lingyi told the person to come in, while Tower put the books away. It was Mu Yen. Mu Yen ran in from outside, straight to Jun Lingyi's side. Jun Lingyi asked Tower to prepare some desserts for Mu Yen, but unexpectedly, Mu Yen innocently asked Jun Lingyi if she had a little sister in her belly. This left Jun Lingyi speechless. She asked who told him that. Mu Yen honestly told her it was Uncle Lu. Jun Lingyi pictured Lu Weichun, jealous on one hand while telling Mu Yen they would have a little sister on the other, and felt a bit guilty. She thought, Lord Lu is truly pitiful. He must have been overcome with jealousy, causing Mu Yen to misunderstand. Mu Yen asked curiously, now that Jun Lingyi has a little sister, will she still leave with the little sister? Before Jun Lingyi could answer, Mu Yen noticed the bundle on the table. Mu Yen picked up the bundle. Jun Lingyi quickly tried to stop him. It was full of things not suitable for children. Mu Yen looked at Jun Lingyi with a wronged expression, asking her not to take the little sister away. He grabbed Jun Lingyi's bundle with both hands. Helpless, Jun Lingyi could only promise Mu Yen she wouldn't leave and asked him to let go of her bundle. But Mu Yen was worried Jun Lingyi was tricking him and insisted that she give him the bundle. Only then would he believe she wouldn't leave. Jun Lingyi thought of the contents of the bundle and immediately refused. She was screaming internally. How could she tell Mu Yen that the things in the bundle were too advanced for someone his age? Just then, Qin Ji returned from outside. Hearing Qin Ji's voice, Mu Yen quickly ran over and tugged on Qin Ji's sleeve, telling him that his mother consort was leaving, which was why he came here to stop her. Qin Ji rubbed Mu Yan's head, telling him his mother consort wouldn't leave and that he should go do his homework. Mu Yan obediently left. But Jun Lingyi spoke up, asking Mu Yan to stay a little longer, as the desserts hadn't been served yet. Hearing desserts, Mu Yan remembered the delicious dessert from last time. He looked at Jun Lingyi with anticipation, asking if he could have that dessert again. Jun Lingyi was in a difficult position. With Qin Ji here, she couldn't get away. So she could only tell Mu Yen they would have it next time. The cook was bitten by a dog and is recovering at home. After all, when Jun Lingyi woke up this morning, she found a mark on her neck where Qin Ji had gnawed on it. So saying someone was bitten wasn't exactly a lie. Mu Yen happily agreed. Watching Mu Yen leave, Jun Lingyi thought that children were so easy to coax. After Mu Yen left the room, Qin Ji pinched Jun Lingyi's chin, his face close to hers, and asked in an ambiguous tone, "Bitten by a dog?" Jun Lingyi guiltily stepped back, telling Qin Ji that a cook in the mansion was bitten by a dog. But she was wondering why Qin Ji was asking her this. Could he have figured something out? Du came in from outside and told Qin Ji that Lord Lu had arrived and was waiting for him in the study. Upon hearing this, Qin Ji immediately got up and took Jun Lingyi's bundle. He told Jun Lingyi he was confiscating the bundle. Jun Lingyi wasn't disappointed. Instead, she told Qin Ji that page 3 of the 4th book and page 13 of the 6th book inside would be quite useful for him. Qin Ji was a little puzzled, wondering what mischievous idea Jun Lingyi was cooking up now. Jun Lingyi looked at Qin Ji with a grin, but thought to herself that confiscation was just Qin Ji's excuse. He actually just wanted to read the books and explore some profound male-on-male positions. So, she had even helped him mark the key points. Jun Lingyi felt she was truly a considerate and good person. Jun Lingyi saw Qin Ji and Du out the door, watching them walk away. She thought, Lu Weichen was just here yesterday. He's probably here again today to call him to account. If the two of them argued, because of her, Jun Lingyi would feel very guilty. So she thought she had to go see for herself. Inside the room, Lu Weichen was accusing Qin Ji of being very uncool last night. A thief had snuck into Qin Ji's home, and he had asked him to help catch the thief, but Qin Ji was only focused on being sweet with his girl. Qin Ji looked at Lu Weichen with a serious expression. He told him to get to the point. Lu Weichen told Qin Ji that last night he had chased that person all the way to Mufing Tower, where the person vanished without a trace. But his Tongtian pavilion wasn't for nothing. In the end, as expected, he managed to find token. Lu Weichen handed the token to Qin Ji. Qin Ji took it out and looked. The token read Zi Xiao sect. He guessed this person belonged to Luo Xiao. Lu Weichun confirmed Qin Ji's guess. It was indeed the Zi Xiao sect, established by the capital's wealthiest man, Luo Xiao. Lu Weichun explained in detail to Qin Ji. Luo Xiao lacked neither money nor political ambition. Moreover, he had intended to retire 10 years ago, keeping the Zi Xiao sect only for self-preservation. He had previously suspected this matter might be related to the Empress Dowager, but Luo Xiao and the Empress Dowager were completely unrelated. So this time, it probably wasn't the Empress Dowager's doing. Qin Ji looked at the token, his heart filled with questions. Mufeng Tower, and now the Zi Xiao sect. Why did they want to take Junlingyi away? He didn't know how many more things about Junlingyi he was unaware of. Qin Ji then returned the token to Lu Weichun, telling him to take it back and that there was no need to investigate further. Some things were better for him to find out himself. Lu Weichun didn't say much more, put the token away, and then started chatting with Qin Ji about personal matters, asking about his love life. Had there been new developments? Lu Weichun pointed at the cut on Qin Ji's lip, teasing that a lot must have happened last night. He stroked his chin while thinking. Qin Ji, this old bachelor finally blooming, is really something else. It's like going to war, aiming for the general's head every time. This is too intense. Last time, Qin Ji told Lu Weichun that Junlingyi misunderstood that he liked men, which had worried Lu Weichun for a bit. I didn't expect Qin Ji to handle him so quickly. Besides, to be honest, this princely mansion should have had a mistress long ago. Even if Qin Ji doesn't consider it for himself, he should think about the child Mu Yan. He can't be without a mother forever. This mansion should have had a mistress long ago. What's more, people have hearts of flesh and blood. Mu Yan is a good child. I believe Junlingyi will eventually accept Mu Yan. Hearing this, Qin Ji was deeply inspired. He seemed to know how to make Junlingyi stay. Outside the study, just as Lu Weichun stepped out, he sensed someone hiding in the shadows. He sternly asked who was there, telling them to stop skulking and come out. But then, he saw Junlingyi around the corner. Junlingyi came out hesitantly and walked up to Lu Weichun. With a solemn expression, she apologized to him, telling him it was all a misunderstanding. She and the prince were just putting on an act, and there was nothing more to it. She hoped the two of them wouldn't let their relationship be damaged because of her. Junlingyi's words made Lu Weichun recall that Qin Ji had once told him that Junlingyi had previously misunderstood him to be interested in men. Could it be that Junlingyi still thinks he and Qin Ji are having an affair? He looked at Lu Weichun, who remained silent before him. Junlingyi suspected he didn't believe her, so she told Lu Weichun that she actually already had a sweetheart, so he could rest assured. Hearing that Junlingyi had a sweetheart, Lu Weichun was a bit shocked and asked who her sweetheart was. But Junlingyi just giggled and told Lu Weichun that it was a personal secret. Inwardly, however, she thought, I just made it up on the spot. How would I know who my sweetheart is? But Lu Weichun wouldn't let her off the hook and continued to press her about her sweetheart. It couldn't be by Russian, could it? Junlingyi was taken aback and took 2 steps back. Seeing her reaction, Lu Weichun thought he had guessed correctly and became furious. So it's true, he thought. But regardless of their past, Junlingyi was now married to Qin Ji. Adhering to the principle that it's better to tear down 7 temples than to break up a marriage, Lu Weichun rambled on, telling Junlingyi that many things can't be judged by their appearance. That by Russian may seem gentle and refined, caring and considerate, but his mind is entirely focused on medicine. If you were with him, you would easily miss out on many of life's pleasures. Besides, he has many bad habits. Before Lu Weichun could finish, Junlingyi started to feign a cough. Lu Weichun knew she didn't want to listen, but he was a few years older than her and had more experience. Moreover, he had frequent dealings with Byerussian and knew a lot about him. Byerussian is a good person. Just as Lu Weichun was about to continue, Junlingyi saw Byerussian behind him and quickly greeted him. Lu Weichun was caught red-handed bad-mouthing someone. Byerussian said teasingly, Lu Weichun, your voice has gotten louder. It seems your breath is strong and you're in good health. Lu Weichun coughed awkwardly and quickly asked Byerussian why he was here. But Byerussian ignored him, told them he was heading to the study first, and that they should carry on and not mind him. Lu Weichun mentally slapped his forehead, thinking he really shouldn't have spoken ill of someone behind their back. Karma is like a tornado. It comes way too fast. Junlingyi also explained to Lu Weichun that he had misunderstood her relationship with Byerussian. At this moment, a small flame of gossip flickered in Lu Weichen's eyes. He curiously pressed Junlingyi about her relationship with Bai Russian, telling her to tell him without worry, as he would absolutely not tell Qingji. So, Junlingyi finally told Lu Weichen that Bai Russian's sister was her friend. She had met Bai Russian a few times before, and they were merely nodding acquaintances. Only then did Lu Weichen realize he must have misunderstood Junlingyi. Seeing that the misunderstanding was cleared up, Junlingyi took her leave and went back. Watching her departing figure, Lu Weichen thought that what Junlingyi said didn't seem like a lie. But Bai Russian actually has a sister? He had known him for 3 years and had never heard about this. Sensing someone tugging at the corner of his clothes, Lu Weichen looked down and saw Mu Yin. Mu Yin was looking at Lu Weichen with a wronged expression, asking if he had lied to him. Why wasn't his little sister here yet? Lu Weichen sighed and told him his little sister was still on the way on a rather distant road. He lamented inwardly. The road for Qingji still looks very long. Late at night, Junlingyi entered the room apprehensively. She thought, it's so late. Why did Qingji call me over? Could it be that he wants to engage in a bloody battle with me? She felt very resistant. Upon entering the room, Qingji was sitting on the bed, reading a book. Seeing that Junlingyi was dressed so thinly, Qingji told her to quickly get on the bed. Seeing Qingji being so concerned for her and making such an ambiguous gesture, Junlingyi thought she had guessed correctly. My period has already started, and he still wants me to do that kind of thing. Qingji really is a horny little teddy who'd do anything and everything. Qingji carefully helped Junlingyi take off her shoes, picked her up, and gently placed her on the bed. Junlingyi looked at Qingji with some difficulty, telling him to calm down. Her body today was really not suitable for any bloody battles or the like. It wasn't comfortable at all. Qingji cupped Junlingyi's cheek. Seeing her somewhat panicked expression, he asked if she was afraid of him. Junlingyi quickly put on a fake smile and told Qingji that with him being so wise and mighty, handsome and dashing, suave and charming, she wasn't afraid of him, but rather in awe of him. Hearing this, Qingji sat up straight and told Junlingyi to rest assured he wouldn't touch her. He had called her over just to talk about something. Qingji told Junlingyi that he could withdraw the people watching her, allowing her to come and go freely both inside and outside the mansion. This left Junlingyi a bit baffled. Qingji would actually do something so good? Qingji made Junlingyi promise not to run away again. His injuries hadn't healed, Mu Yin was still young, and the Prince of Pingshi's mansion needed a mistress. Looking into Qingji's sincere eyes, Junlingyi couldn't bear to look anymore. She quickly raised her hand to cover his eyes, thinking inwardly, these eyes of Qingji are too sinful. If he keeps looking at me like this, I'll soften. As expected, Junlingyi agreed to Qingji's request, but she had one condition. When they slept at night, she hoped Qingji wouldn't just hug people at the drop of a hat. This sleeping habit of Qingji's was really not very good. But Qingji immediately denied having such a habit. A moment later, they blew out the lights and went to sleep. Not long after they lay down on the bed, Qingji rolled over and wrapped his arms around Junlingyi. Junlingyi complained inwardly, and he said he didn't have this habit. So she turned to face Qingji. Looking at his peaceful, sleeping form, Junlingyi thought, forget it, a hug is just a hug. I'll settle the score with him tomorrow. But more important than settling scores, Junlingyi had something more important to do tomorrow. The next morning, Junlingyi disguised herself and went out. She wandered around outside, savoring the taste of freedom. This feeling was truly wonderful. Qingji had really kept his promise and didn't send anyone to follow her. So, Junlingyi walked briskly towards Mufing Tower. Arriving inside Mufing Tower, the waiter greeted Junlingyi enthusiastically. The dishes here were all very good, but Mufing Tower was famous not just for its food. Any information discussed here would absolutely not leave the premises. No one could pry it out. It was extremely secure. Moreover, the behind-the-scenes owner of Mufing Tower possessed an unrivaled skill. Junlingyi followed the waiter upstairs and asked him to call for young Master Yin. The waiter readily agreed. Soon, Yanning arrived. Seeing that there was no one with Junlingyi, he praised her for her great skill in getting out by herself. Junlingyi came to see Yanning today, mainly to tell him that she was planning to stay in the Prince of Pingshi's mansion for a while. I'm not running away anymore. Yanning took a sip of tea, his eyes a little downcast, and faintly agreed with Junlingyi. Junlingyi was curious why Yanning wasn't angry, but Yin Ning wondered why he should be angry. Even if Jun Lingyi didn't give up, he was going to persuade her to. If they continued to get entangled with Qin Ji, he was afraid he'd be plucked clean. Every time he helped Jun Lingyi escape, he would be chased and beaten by that man. Although the matter wasn't accomplished, Yin Ning felt that Jun Lingyi couldn't go back on her promise to him. 2 years' worth of Mufeng Tower's profits were his. Jun Lingyi generously told him to take it. Her identity as the owner of Mufeng Tower could not be exposed in front of Qin Ji. So, during this time, Mufeng Tower was handed over to Yin Ning to manage. This saved Jun Lingyi a lot of trouble. Yin Ning told Jun Lingyi to stay away from Qin Ji. Jun Lingyi had a look of understanding, knowing that Yin Ning still had feelings for Qin Ji. But Yin Ning, annoyed and embarrassed, told Jun Lingyi that he didn't like Qin Ji. Jun Lingyi thought Yin Ning was just being coy and said perfunctorily, "If Yin Ning doesn't like Qin Ji, could it be that he likes me?" The words were on the tip of Yin Ning's tongue, but he swallowed them back. As if compromising, he told Jun Lingyi that he liked that courtyard full of male concubines. In Mufeng Tower, a woman in a purple dress was writing something. The man next to her asked what she was doing. The woman replied, "This is what I told you about, the special skill of Mufeng Tower's owner. You write down the dish you most want to eat on a piece of paper. The first 10 dishes written will be sent to the back kitchen to be personally cooked by the owner. The owner's culinary skills are hard to find in this world. Even ordinary dishes have a unique flavor, but his whereabouts are a mystery. He only occasionally appears at Mufeng Tower to cook a few dishes for the guests. An opportunity like today is very rare." In the back kitchen, Jun Lingyi skillfully cooked. The delicious meal was finally complete. She thought she would also make some osmanthus cakes for Mu Yin to take back. When Jun Lingyi returned to the Prince of Pingshi's mansion, someone outside the gate was calling her name. Before that person could get close to Jun Lingyi, Qin Ji pulled her over. The person lunged at nothing and fell to the ground. Qin Ji vigilantly asked who he was to dare cause a commotion in front of the princely mansion. The person before them was none other than the second son of the Jun family, Jun Xiao. Jun Xiao dusted himself off. Jun Lingyi happily called out, "Second brother." Jun Xiao bowed in greeting to the Prince of Pingxi. After learning he was Jun Lingyi's second brother, Qin Ji invited him into the mansion. The three of them walked into the princely mansion. Qin Ji asked why Jun Lingyi went out dressed like that. Jun Lingyi thought Qin Ji felt it was inappropriate for her to go out in men's clothing. But how could she explain why she was wearing men's clothes? Was she supposed to tell him it was to satisfy his interests? Qin Ji took off his outer robe and draped it over Jun Lingyi, telling her to wear more. It turned out Qin Ji was worried she would be cold. This touched Jun Lingyi a little. So Qin Ji wasn't talking about her wearing men's clothes. Noticing that Jun Xiao was still there, Jun Lingyi pushed Qin Ji away, telling him to go attend his own business while she chatted with her second brother about family matters. Qin Ji obediently left. Jun Lingyi and Jun Xiao walked into the room. Jun Xiao asked Jun Lingyi in a low voice if Qin Ji had bullied her during this time. Jun Lingyi told Jun Xiao she was doing fine and wondered why he was here instead of at his post in Yanqing. Jun Xiao sat down and told Jun Lingyi that he heard she was going to marry the Prince of Pingxi. He was too worried, so he took leave and came back. Who knew he still wouldn't make it in time? When he got home, he saw his parents looking worried and muttering Jun Lingyi's name. He knew Jun Lingyi must be suffering in the princely mansion for them to be so concerned. Jun Lingyi thought, "They're not muttering about me. They're probably cursing me." Thinking of how Jun Rohuwei was turned away at the gate, Jun Xiao got angry again, not understanding how there could be someone as unreasonable as Qin Ji in the world. Clearly, Qin Ji was not good enough for Jun Lingyi. Jun Lingyi was very moved. Everyone else thought she was marrying up to Qin Ji. Only her second brother felt that Qin Ji wasn't good enough for her. Jun Xiao told Jun Lingyi that Jun Rohuwei's good news should be approaching soon. When he had just returned, he saw Jun Rohuwei chatting with the Prime Minister's son. Jun Lingyi thought about it. On the day of Lu Weichen's birthday, Chen Zhongying had stirred up everyone's emotions with just a few words. Could it be that Jun Rohuwei used a honey trap to make him do it? Jun Xiao excitedly grabbed Jun Lingyi's shoulders, telling her that the Empress Dowager's birthday was in a few days. He would find a way to help her leave the princely mansion and then pick a suitable husband for her. Jun Lingyi wanted to refuse, but Jun Xiao was already lost in his own world and couldn't hear what she was saying. Jun Lingyi thought, "My second brother has been single-minded since childhood. He won't listen to direct persuasion. I have to find a way to make him give up this idea." Just then, Qin Ji walked in. Jun Lingyi was delighted. Isn't this the useful tool I needed? She thought. So, Jun Lingyi excitedly threw herself into Qin Ji's arms. She whispered in his ear, asking him to help her out. Then, she wrapped her arms around his neck and told him coquettishly that she missed him. Qin Ji was very cooperative. He looked at Jun Lingyi dotingly. Hearing Qin Ji's gentle words, Jun Lingyi could barely handle it. If she didn't know Qin Ji was just acting, she would have really thought he liked her. The scene before him made Jun Xiao blush to the ears. The loving appearance of Jun Lingyi and Qin Ji filled his vision. Jun Xiao coughed awkwardly twice and told Jun Lingyi that as long as she was happy, that was all that mattered. He then felt relieved and told Qin Ji that Jun Lingyi was still young and insensible and asked Qin Ji to bear with her in the future. Then he fled in a hurry. Once Jun Xiao was out of sight, Jun Lingyi looked at Qin Ji apologetically. That was presumptuous of me just now. But Qin Ji said it was fine. He sat down. Qin Ji had come over because he remembered something else. The Empress Dowager's 50th birthday was coming up. Qin Ji told Jun Lingyi that if she wanted to give a gift, she could pick something from the storehouse. If there was nothing she liked in the storehouse, she could have someone buy it. Jun Lingyi apologized verbally, but inwardly, she thought Qin Ji was quite thoughtful. Qin Ji saw the food box on the table and didn't know what was inside. Jun Lingyi explained with a guilty conscience. This is osmanthus cake that a friend of mine made for the little heir. Qin Ji opened the box and tried a piece, praising that it tasted quite good. He then asked Jun Lingyi if she could make an introduction and invite the person who made the osmanthus cake to the mansion to be a cook. Jun Lingyi was very flustered and made an excuse that this friend of hers was used to a carefree life. If she came, she would probably be unhappy and wouldn't be able to make delicious food. Qin Ji reached for another piece. Jun Lingyi reminded Qin Ji that the food was for the little heir. But it turned out Qin Ji wasn't taking it for himself. Instead, he held a piece to Jun Lingyi's lips. Jun Lingyi was stunned for a moment. Qin Ji told Jun Lingyi, next time you go out, remember to bring some food back for me too. Jun Lingyi shyly agreed. Then she picked up the food box to take it to Mu Yan. Qin Ji stopped her. He stood up, gently wiped the smudge from the corner of Jun Lingyi's mouth, and told her to wipe it clean before going. Otherwise, Mu Yan would find out she had been sneaking food. Jun Lingyi left in a fluster. A month later, the day of the Empress Dowager's birthday arrived. In Yongkuan Palace, Mu Yan came to pay his respects to his imperial grandmother. The Empress Dowager doted on Mu Yan, but when she saw Jun Lingyi sitting to the side, she questioned her sternly. Why are you still here? Since you've married Qin Ji, you should be by his side at all times. This left Jun Lingyi completely bewildered. The Empress Dowager told Jun Lingyi that Qin Ji was currently in the imperial study. Jun Lingyi should be waiting outside the imperial study. Do I have to personally teach you this bit of etiquette? Jun Lingyi immediately stood up and told the Empress Dowager she would go right away. Inwardly, she thought, the royal family has so many rules. I even have to follow Qin Ji around all the time. Does that mean if Qin Ji is in the latrine, I have to stand by and hand in the toilet paper? I'm not going to look for him. I'll take this opportunity to have a good look around the imperial palace. In the imperial garden, Jun Lingyi picked a chrysanthemum, feeling very content. But in the distance, someone was brandishing a whip, which suddenly struck Jun Lingyi. The woman behind her was Chun Zhongying's sister, the prime minister's daughter, Chun Jingning. Jun Lingyi asked her angrily why she had launched a sneak attack on her. But Chun Jingning said Jun Lingyi had stolen something of hers. Jun Lingyi was confused until Chun Jingning told her that she and Qin Ji were childhood sweethearts who grew up together. It was Jun Lingyi who interfered and stole Qin Ji away. Jun Lingyi is a thief. As soon as she finished speaking, Chun Jingning swung the whip at Jun Lingyi again. Chun Jingning swung the whip while cursing Jun Lingyi as a thief. Jun Lingyi wasn't about to stand there foolishly and take a beating. She nimbly dodged Chun Jingning's whip and said with some exasperation, if you want the man, you can just say so. I can give him to you. It's not good to be brandishing weapons in the imperial palace. But when Chun Jingning heard this, she thought Jun Lingyi was mocking her for not knowing how to use swords or spears, only a whip. Hearing Chun Jingning's interpretation, Jun Lingyi was exasperated. She thought, Chun Jingning's reading comprehension is terrible. Which word did I use to mock her? Ignoring Jun Lingyi's reaction, Chun Jingning swung the whip even more forcefully. Just as the whip was about to land on Jun Lingyi, A large hand caught the whip. It was Qin Ji who had arrived. Qin Ji concernedly asked Junlingyi if she was all right. Junlingyi was very moved and told Qin Ji she was fine. Just then, Chen Zhongying also hurried over from the side. He greeted Qin Ji and Junlingyi and sought forgiveness for Chen Jingning's unreasonable behavior just now. He told Chen Jingning to apologize to Junlingyi, but Chen Jingning refused to apologize, not feeling she was in the wrong at all. It was only then that Junlingyi learned that the woman before her was the Prime Minister's youngest daughter. Speaking of which, the Empress Dowager was her aunt. She often came and went from the palace, so it was no wonder she claimed to be childhood sweethearts with Qin Ji. Qin Ji stood to the side, backing Junlingyi up. He sternly told the Chen siblings, "Anyone who harms even a hair on my princess's head, I will consider them my enemy for life." Hearing Qin Ji defend Junlingyi so fiercely, the whip slipped from Chen Jingning's hand. Her heart was filled with disbelief. Chen Zhongying bowed to Qin Ji, apologizing on his sister's behalf and begging for Qin Ji's forgiveness. Qin Ji didn't reply. He took Junlingyi's hand and turned to leave. Junlingyi even mentioned to Qin Ji that she thought Chen Jingning was not bad. If Qin Ji wanted a princess consort, perhaps Chen Jingning would be a good choice. She would surely be devoted to him and would also be his good helpmate. Junlingyi thought, anyway, Qin Ji just needs a princess consort to help him manage the inner residence. Wouldn't anyone do? Besides, if it were Chen Jingning, she wouldn't have to stay for a whole year. Qin Ji turned, caressed Junlingyi's cheek, and asked her affectionately if she wanted to divorce him. This startled Junlingyi. She hadn't expected Qin Ji to say such a thing. The surrounding eunuchs and palace maids also gathered to the side curiously, whispering among themselves. Junlingyi thought, this Qin Ji is setting me up again. This group of eunuchs and palace maids are all the Empress Dowager spies. They'll definitely go back and tell the Empress Dowager that I want a divorce. Then Qin Ji will find another reason to deal with me. But Qin Ji had no intention of letting her go. He moved closer, lifted her chin, and asked if she wanted to divorce him. Junlingyi dodged and told Qin Ji he was overthinking it. She was in love with him at first sight. Their love was stronger than gold. How could she possibly want to divorce him? I'm afraid it's you who's planning to abandon me. In that case, my heart would truly be in extreme pain. Hearing these words, Qin Ji took Junlingyi's hand and told her affectionately that he felt the same way about her. Qin Ji led Junlingyi towards the birthday banquet. Junlingyi felt a little annoyed. She had failed again today to get rid of the title of princess consort. Arriving at the Empress Dowager's birthday banquet, Junlingyi wondered why the decorations were so simple. The venue wasn't even as lavish as Lu Weichen's birthday banquet. Qin Ji seemed to see through Junlingyi's confusion and told her that with the border situation unstable, the Empress Dowager was being considerate of the common people and thus was unwilling to be extravagant. Only then did Junlingyi understand. She thought, so the Empress Dowager is doing this to build her reputation. If word of this spread among the common people, it would surely establish a good image of someone who cares for the country. The Emperor and Empress soon arrived. They walked to the highest position and looked down at the crowd. Looking at the two people on the platform, Junlingyi couldn't help but feel that the Empress had a more commanding presence than the Emperor. Seeing Junlingyi, the Emperor asked Qin Ji, "This must be your princess consort, right? This younger brother of mine is usually like a block of ice." He told Junlingyi that if Qin Ji bullied her, she could tell him, and he would absolutely not let him off lightly. The Empress chimed in from the side. "I think the Prince of Pingxi treats the princess consort very well. Just now, when your majesty was chatting with Fifth Brother, someone came to report a misunderstanding between the princess consort and the young lady of the Qin family." He turned and left immediately. This shows how sincere the prince's feelings are for the princess consort. Junlingyi also explained from the side that the prince was very good to her, but inwardly she was thinking, Chen Jingning came looking for trouble with the prince's lover. I'm taking the fall for Lu Weichen on this one. Hearing that their relationship was so good, the emperor was delighted, hoping to become an uncle soon. Qin Ji told the emperor that he would work hard. Only Junlingyi was left speechless, thinking, There's no need to work that hard. The Empress Dowager arrived. Everyone knelt down one by one again. Junlingyi thought, transmigrating to ancient times is so troublesome. It's all kneeling at the drop of a hat. Lu Weichen also arrived. He reported to the emperor that Tongtian Pavilion had observed the celestial phenomena. Today was an auspicious day. The gods were aware of the Empress Dowager's consideration for the common people and would surely bless our great Qi and its people. The Empress Dowager was very satisfied. A personal guard at the side announced the gifts everyone had brought. First was the master of Tongtian Pavilion, Lu Weichun, who presented a pair of longevity Rui scepters. Next was the prime minister's daughter, Chun Jingning, who presented a string of jade prayer beads. The princess consort of Pingxi presented an embroidery of 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix. Seeing this embroidery, everyone's face showed alarm. The Empress Dowager was also furious. Junlingyi discovered that at some point, her embroidery had been burned. Someone must be trying to frame her. Chun Jingning also spoke up, blaming her. Junlingyi, how audacious of you! How dare you present a burned embroidery to the Empress Dowager as a congratulatory gift? This is clearly a curse against the Empress Dowager. Qinji wanted to say something for Junlingyi, but she stopped him. Junlingyi stood up herself and looked at Chun Jingning. She questioned her. Her Majesty the Empress Dowager has already seen through the mystery of my gift and praised me for it. I wonder what you mean by your words, Chun Jingning. The Empress Dowager was also confused by this. She didn't know there was a mystery. Junlingyi began to explain. Everyone can only see the 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix and envy the phoenix for receiving such an honor. But who remembers what it was before it transformed into a phoenix? It had to be reborn from fire to experience the suffering of nirvana. After she finished the embroidery, she heard that the Empress Dowager, in consideration of the people's hardships, had ordered the birthday banquet to be simple. The 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix scene was extravagant, so she burned half of the embroidery. Junlingyi knelt on the ground and devoutly told the Empress Dowager that the border has been stabilized. Our great Qi has just overcome the southern pass, just like a phoenix's nirvana. Today, she presents this phoenix nirvana embroidery to the Empress Dowager, hoping that after this nirvana, the Empress Dowager and great Qi will prosper. The Empress Dowager was extremely pleased to hear this and immediately wanted to reward Junlingyi. Everyone below the stage was also discussing amongst themselves, praising the Princess of Pingxi for being clever and skillful with a wonderfully intricate mind. It was the most special gift of the day. Chun Jingning was filled with displeasure, thinking it was just a piece of burnt, ruined cloth that she had managed to talk her way out of with clever words. Although she had escaped disaster, Qinji still told Junlingyi that he would investigate thoroughly and not let the person who burned the embroidery get away. Junlingyi, as if victory was in her grasp, decided to investigate it herself. She would not let the person who harmed her off so easily. She had to let him know that she wasn't someone who would just take a beating. Qinji had no choice but to agree. Soon, they started the next activity. Originally, Junlingyi thought the party would end after the meal, but she didn't expect there would also be a hunt. Chun Jingning was already on her horse. Seeing Junlingyi still standing to the side, she taunted her, asking if she didn't know how to ride. Chun Zhongning warned Chun Jingning not to cause trouble. But Chun Jingning told him she wasn't causing trouble, just wanting to befriend the princess consort. She told her to ride a horse, so she would be worthy of sitting beside Qinji. Junlingyi felt she wasn't that kind-hearted and couldn't be bothered with her. She turned and left. Qinji rode past on his horse. Chun Jingning wanted to join him, but was ignored. Qinji came to Junlingyi's side and extended his hand, gesturing for her to get on the horse. Junlingyi obediently placed her hand in Qinji's. Only after she was on the horse did she realize. It was as if she had been bewitched just now. She extended her hand and was pulled up by Qinji. It was all Qinji's fault for being too handsome. Qinji personally taught Junlingyi how to ride, which made many young ladies envious. Chun Jingning watched this scene angrily, spurred her horse, and chased after them quickly. No matter how Chun Zhongying tried to stop her, it was useless. Qinji asked Junlingyi if she wanted to try hunting a beast, but Junlingyi was worried she would miss. Qinji wasn't worried at all. At worst, he would take the blame for her. So Junlingyi boldly began to shoot her arrow. The arrow went straight towards Chun Jingning. Chun Jingning couldn't dodge in time. and fell off her horse. Chen Jingning looked angrily at Jun Lingyi, but Jun Lingyi fell weakly into Qin Ji's arms, telling him she didn't do it on purpose, that bows and arrows were too dangerous. She was scared. Qin Ji also cooperated very well, telling Chen Jingning that his princess consort was a bit mischievous and asking Miss Chen not to mind. But Chen Jingning didn't believe it. She wanted to tell Qin Ji not to be deceived by her. But before she could finish, Qin Ji rode away with Jun Lingyi, leaving Chen Jingning to curse loudly on the spot. Jun Lingyi had gotten her revenge and felt extremely satisfied. She couldn't help but praise Qin Ji for being so shuai just now. Qin Ji was curious about the meaning of shuai. Jun Lingyi thought about how to explain it to Qin Ji. So she told him shuai means to swiftly crush a weak opponent, just like what the prince did. Qin Ji was a little disappointed, so it didn't mean she liked him. Qin Ji praised Jun Lingyi's archery skills just now, saying she was also very shuai. Jun Lingyi was extremely proud and almost said something she shouldn't have, but she stopped herself in time. Instead, she told Qin Ji that she didn't know any archery. It was just because she liked throwing stones as a child, so her aim was better than most people's. Qin Ji saw through her, but didn't expose her, pretending to believe her. He asked Jun Lingyi if she had ever tried hitting 3 targets with one throw when throwing stones. Of course, Jun Lingyi hadn't. Qin Ji prepared to teach her with a bow. So he held Jun Lingyi's hand tightly, picked up the bow, an arrow, and shot 3 arrows. The 3 arrows all hit different prey. Jun Lingyi was utterly shocked. This was simply magic. Behind them, Lu Weichen and Mu Yin were once again fed a lot of dog food. Mu Yin curiously asked Lu Weichen when his little sister would arrive. Lu Weichen was also curious. Didn't the little prince always dislike the princess consort? Why was he so anxious for a little sister now? Mu Yin told Lu Weichen that after careful consideration from all angles, his mother consort was knowledgeable about state affairs, and different from those pretentious young ladies who only knew how to act cute. She was barely worthy of his royal father. The little sister she gives birth to should also be very cute. Lu Weichen listened to Mu Yan's speech and praised him for having improved a lot, even using so many idioms. Mu Yan sighed. When his little sister was born, he would have to play with her. By then, Lu Weichen would be all alone. Lu Weichen was speechless, thinking he wanted to have a talk about life with Mu Yan's tutor. What kind of nonsensical words was he teaching? A few days later, inside the Prince of Pingshi's mansion, Jun Lingyi sat on a chair, a servant kneeling before her. She was interrogating him, asking if he was the one who burned the princess consort's embroidery. The man refused to admit it, saying he had served the mansion his whole life and had never done anything to wrong the prince. He knew nothing about the embroidery being burned, and even if the princess consort took his life, he would not admit to something he didn't do. Jun Lingyi looked at the man with interest, threatening that she really would take his life. Then she had a servant bring in the torture instruments. The man was fearless, telling Jun Lingyi to torture him as she pleased, but he would never confess to a fabricated crime. However, he had to remind Jun Lingyi that using private punishment was against the law. Jun Lingyi had no intention of beating him. A servant brought a young girl in. This girl was the man's daughter. The man was very nervous. He didn't know why his daughter was here. Jun Lingyi looked at the child's delicate skin, noting she was well raised. She probably couldn't endure pain. She ordered her to be taken into the room. She was soft-hearted and couldn't bear to watch such a scene. The girl, with tears in her eyes, was taken away. Soon, screams came from the room. Qin Ji and Lu Weichen heard the commotion in the courtyard and stopped. The girl's painful cries came from inside the room. Jun Lingyi sat leisurely in her chair. Lu Weichen looked at the scene in the courtyard and said with ambiguous sarcasm, "Jun Lingyi is truly merciful." Qin Ji, as if he didn't catch the sarcasm, nodded in agreement, thinking Jun Lingyi was very merciful. Lu Weichen mentally slapped himself. He was really asking for it. Wasn't this just eagerly asking for a serving of dog food? The man in the courtyard finally couldn't take it anymore. He admitted that he was the one who burned the embroidery. Jun Lingyi waved her hand, telling the people in the room to stop. She asked the man before her why he burned the embroidery and who instructed him. If he couldn't give a clear reason, she would suspect it was a forced confession. Otherwise, they should just continue the torture. Hearing this, the man quickly confessed honestly. He told Jun Lingyi that it was the eldest young miss of the Jun family who instructed him. She had kidnapped his son and forced him to do it. She gave him gold, which was buried at his home. If the princess consort sent someone, they could still dig it up. Jun Lingyi didn't expect it to be Jun Rohui. The man begged Jun Lingyi to spare his daughter. He knew he had committed a capital crime and was willing to be sliced into 1,000 pieces, but his child was innocent. Jun Lingyi stood up and looked at the man. Fortunately, he hadn't disappointed her. He didn't abandon his daughter for his son. Although he wasn't a good person, he was a good father. Jun Lingyi had a servant open the door. The girl ran out of the room and threw herself into the man's arms. The man was curious why his daughter was completely unharmed. The girl told him there was a person in the room who could make the same sounds as her. Their screams were so miserable, it was terrifying. Jun Lingyi told the girl that it was ventriloquism, a skill for imitating sounds. She then told the girl to be good, and she would help get her little brother back. The girl happily agreed. The man knelt on the ground and kowtowed to Jun Lingyi in apology, thanking her for her kindness. For the rest of his life, he was willing to be the princess consort's beast of burden, his head hitting the ground. Jun Lingyi couldn't handle this display. She quickly told him to stop and get up. She didn't need any beasts of burden. She told him to take good care of his daughter and son and not let them get kidnapped again. Jun Lingyi's methods earned Lu Weichen's praise. To be able to get the information and evidence she wanted without harming anyone, and even making the enemy submit to her. With these methods, even the people from the Dali Temple would have to praise her. Qin Ji thought that a free Jun Lingyi was indeed even more stunning. Lu Weichen pulled Qin Ji, telling him that Jun Lingyi was coming this way, and they should hide quickly. But before they took 2 steps, Jun Lingyi ran into them. Their posture was a bit ambiguous. Jun Lingyi's mind went astray, thinking Lu Weichen was declaring his sovereignty. She should leave quickly and not get in their way. She made an excuse that she was planning to return to the Jun residence today and wouldn't disturb the prince and Lord Lu. Then she quickly fled. Lu Weichen asked if she needed company, but Jun Lingyi quickly refused. Inside Manshun Pavilion, Jun Lingyi came to question Jun Rohui. She asked if she was the one who sent someone to burn the 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix she gifted to the Empress Dowager. But Jun Rohui denied it, telling Jun Lingyi not to spout nonsense. Besides, the 100 birds paying homage to the phoenix was a scorched work. If she was the one who burned it, then Jun Lingyi would have committed the crime of deceiving the monarch. Jun Lingyi told Jun Rohui not to be afraid. The matter was already over. She just came to ask for clarity. Jun Rohui stood up and told Jun Lingyi, "So what if it was me? You were born of a concubine. From birth, you were a step below me, unfit for high society. How dare you have the chance to attend the Empress Dowager's birthday banquet? I just had to make you a public fool." Jun Lingyi lit a candle. She didn't think much of it. She threw the candle onto Jun Rohui. She was giving her a taste of her own medicine. Jun Rohui's clothes caught fire. She panicked and called for help. Jun Rohui couldn't bear it and started rolling on the ground. Jun Lingyi walked out leisurely, wondering how she became so good at taking revenge. Seeing such a beautiful moon, she decided not to return to the prince's mansion yet. She would go for a walk first. But with a thud, she was knocked unconscious from behind. When Jun Lingyi woke up, she found herself in what seemed to be the Mufing Tower's 8-star, 8-diamond luxury presidential suite. On her hands were wooden restraints, handcuffs for guests with special needs. This room and these handcuffs seemed tailor-made for her. Jun Lingyi had a look of utter despair. A man walked in from outside. This person was someone Jun Lingyi hadn't expected. It was actually Ning Heshuan. Ning Heshuan trembled with fear that I didn't want to do this either, Jun. Lingyi suspected that Jun Rohui had sent him to kill her. But if he was going to kill her, Ning Heshuan wouldn't have gone to such trouble to tie her up in such an expensive room. Could it be that Jun Rohui wanted Ning Heshuan to do something unspeakable to her? In the next second, Ning Heshuan started to lift Jun Lingyi's clothes. Although my heart belongs to Jun Rohui, I will do whatever she asks me to do. Jun Lingyi kicked Ning Heshuan away, repeatedly shouting for help. Ning Heshuan had a sinister look on his face that I've already checked. This room is at the end of the corridor. No one usually comes here, and the soundproofing is the best. It's useless even if you scream your lungs out. Jun Lingyi knew that, but she was just stalling for time. On a whim, she had built a secret room under the bed. As long as she could touch the switch, she could temporarily escape him. With a bang, Qin Ji kicked the door in. Ning Heshuan looked nervously at the newcomer. Qin Ji grabbed Ning Heshuan's neck, his eyes filled with killing intent. He picked Ning Heshuan up and threw him against the door, then came to untie Junlingyi. Qin Ji sat down and accidentally touched the switch. Junlingyi thought, oh no, the switch she had been fumbling for without success. Qin Ji had managed to press it in one go. Junlingyi fell down. Qin Ji also jumped down after her into the secret room. Qin Ji lit a candle. Seeing that Qin Ji had also come down, Junlingyi was a bit annoyed. The mechanism to open this place was on the outside. They were both trapped here. Unless Xiao Si discovered something was wrong, there was no way for the two of them to get out. Qin Ji stepped forward, his face full of self-blame that it's all my fault. I couldn't bear to leave Junlingyi alone. Junlingyi looked at the deeply affectionate Qin Ji, her cheeks flushing red. Qin Ji moved closer to Junlingyi to undo her handcuffs, asking with concern if her hands hurt. Junlingyi's heart felt very warm. So Qin Ji was helping her undo the handcuffs just now. Her long, dormant, girlish heart was actually moved by the schemes of a sleeve-cutting prince. It was simply too embarrassing. The environment here was too gloomy and cold. Junlingyi couldn't help but sneeze. Qin Ji told Junlingyi to hold the candle, then took off his outer robe and draped it over her. When Junlingyi saw Qin Ji taking off his clothes, she thought he was about to do something improper. Qin Ji told Junlingyi to sit for a while he looked for a way out. Qin Ji took the candle and looked around the secret room. He found that it really seemed like it could only be opened from the outside. Qin Ji turned his head to tell Junlingyi that they would have to wait for Xiao Si to come in the morning and help them open it. But he found Junlingyi silent. He walked closer and saw Junlingyi's eyes were closed. He thought she had fallen asleep. Qin Ji knelt down and picked Junlingyi up, only to find her burning up. He simply threw the candle away, took off his own clothes, and covered Junlingyi with them. He comforted her, saying she wouldn't be cold for long. Junlingyi snuggled in Qin Ji's arms, calling out, "Handsome brother." The next morning, there was a sound from outside. It was Yin Ning scolding the servants. How could they only just now discover that Junlingyi was missing? If anything happened to her, he would never forgive them. Qin Ji saw the exit open and jumped out at once. Yin Ning stopped Qin Ji, telling him to hand the person over to him. Qin Ji did not obey, only telling Yin Ning to prepare a carriage and clothes. He and the princess consort would return to the mansion immediately. Although Yin Ning was reluctant, he did as he was told. Ning Heshuan was still tied up on the ground. Qin Ji handed him over to Yin Ning to deal with. Yin Ning worriedly instructed Qin Ji to have, by Russian, examined Junlingyi. Then he looked fiercely at Ning Heshuan. He ordered the servants to beat him. Ning Heshuan let out frightened whimpers. Prince of Pingxi's mansion. Junlingyi lay on the bed, with the others gathered around her. Lu Weichen asked what illness Junlingyi had, why she wasn't waking up. Bai Russian stood up angrily, grabbed Qin Ji's collar, his tone agitated, wanting to threaten Qin Ji that if he couldn't take good care of Junlingyi, he would snatch her away. Before he could finish, he was stopped by Lu Weichen, who told Bai Russian he had overstepped. After calming Bai Russian's emotions, Lu Weichen asked Bai Russian what was wrong with Junlingyi to make him so agitated. Bai Russian pushed Lu Weichen's hand away and told him it was nothing serious, just a minor cold. He would go write a prescription now. Lu Weichen watched Bai Russian's departing figure, somewhat puzzled. His intuition told him that Junlingyi's illness shouldn't be just a minor cold. Otherwise, Bai Russian wouldn't have had that attitude. Qin Ji called Lu Weichen's name with some seriousness. Lu Weichen's heart skipped a beat. It had been a long time since Qin Ji had called his courtesy name so seriously. Qin Ji told Lu Weichen to find a few folk doctors from the common people. Lu Weichen immediately went to arrange it. Junlingyi gradually woke up. Qin Ji was very happy to see Junlingyi finally awake. He pressed his forehead against Junlingyi's to check her temperature. It seemed she still had a slight fever. Junlingyi was extremely shy, so Qin Ji was just checking her temperature. But his action was clearly meant to raise her temperature on purpose. Having been trapped until now, Junlingyi had only had a bowl of medicinal soup. Qin Ji had prepared a meal for her and was about to help her up to eat. But when Junlingyi saw a table full of porridge, she was a little confused. This whole table of porridge was for her. Qin Ji replied that he didn't know Junlingyi's tastes, so he had the kitchen make several kinds. But Junlingyi only wanted to eat meat right now. Qin Ji was very principled. The doctor said Junlingyi needed a light diet and to drink more plain porridge. Qin Ji comforted Junlingyi, telling her to drink the porridge first. When she got better, he would eat meat with her. Junlingyi chose the bowl of porridge closest to her, but Qin Ji picked it up instead. Junlingyi was puzzled. Could it be that I can't choose this bowl? Qin Ji's next move was even more unexpected for Junlingyi. He was actually going to feed her the porridge. This made Junlingyi feel overwhelmed by the favor. Junlingyi wanted to take the bowl and drink it herself, but Qin Ji used the doctor's orders as an excuse, saying the doctor had instructed that Junlingyi was weak and needed to rest. Junlingyi showed her muscles to Qin Ji. She wasn't so weak that she couldn't even hold a bowl. Her muscles were very firm. She was fine. Qin Ji remained unmoved. Junlingyi had no choice but to compromise. But watching Qin Ji feed her porridge, he looked quite cute. Junlingyi drank the porridge, while asking about Ning Heshuan's whereabouts. Hearing he was in Yin Ning's hands, she then asked Qin Ji if he had already met Yin Ning and what he thought of him. Qin Ji didn't want to say more, telling Junlingyi to focus on drinking her porridge. 3 sentences for 3 sips of porridge. It was easy to choke that way. Qin Ji blew on the porridge. Junlingyi was concerned about Qin Ji. His body hadn't fully recovered either. Did he overexert himself last night? Qin Ji told Junlingyi he was fine. The sound of hurried footsteps came from outside the door. It was Mu Yan, who had rushed over. He heard that Junlingyi had eloped with a wild man last night. With that, the porridge Junlingyi had just swallowed sprayed out. Qin Ji patted Junlingyi's back, asking with concern why she choked. Junlingyi coughed, thinking to herself, why did I choke? Shouldn't Qin Ji have some idea? Qin Ji told Mu Yan that Junlingyi was with him the whole night. Junlingyi also chimed in to agree. Only then did Mu Yan become happy. So Junlingyi wasn't with a wild man last night, but with his royal father. Qin Ji carefully fed Junlingyi more porridge, telling her to be careful not to choke again. Mu Yan was a little envious from the side. He also wanted Qin Ji to feed him porridge. Qin Ji told Mu Yan to get it himself. There were plenty on the table. Mu Yan was extremely aggrieved, not understanding why Junlingyi could be fed by his royal father, but he couldn't. Qin Ji told Mu Yan that Junlingyi was sick. Junlingyi, alarmed, thanked Qin Ji and told him she was full. Junlingyi patted Mu Yan's head and told him she would find a chef tomorrow to make him something delicious. Mu Yan was overjoyed. Qin Ji was worried that Junlingyi's body hadn't recovered yet. She needed to rest in bed and couldn't leave the mansion. Junlingyi and Mu Yan both looked at Qin Ji with pitiful expressions. Qin Ji held his forehead. He had no choice but to tell them that after half a month of recuperation, she could leave the mansion. Junlingyi felt that half a month was actually quite long. On the 3rd day, Junlingyi started to get bored. On the 5th day, Junlingyi felt it was too long. When the 10th day finally arrived, Junlingyi felt she had gotten a bit fat. She had been a rice worm for 10 days straight. Although every meal was light, she would definitely gain weight from lying in bed all the time. Who knew that her second brother would come? He pinched her cheek and said she had lost weight, thinking Qin Ji was not treating her well. Junlingyi broke free from her second brother's grasp, thinking he was still stuck in the time when she was 5 with baby fat. She hadn't lost any weight these past few days. In fact, she had gained some, and the prince was very good to her. Last time, her second brother had also seen it. The two of them were deeply in love, but her second brother saw through it. Junlingyi had been clever since she was a child, so she was probably lying to him last time. Junlingyi muttered to herself, could it be that I've been found out? But I acted so seriously. She guaranteed she absolutely wasn't lying. Qin Ji was really good to her. Her second brother didn't need to worry about her and could return to Yunqing with peace of mind. But her second brother felt that if Junlingyi wasn't lying, why would she want to escape the prince's mansion? And that day, Qin Ji was like that to him. Seeing her second brother hesitate to speak, Junlingyi thought Qin Ji had done something to him, and her mind started to wander. But her second brother secretly took out a draft. He had actually forgotten his lines. He thought to himself that he could never win an argument against Junlingyi. Seeing Qin Ji, she quickly changed her tune. She asked Qin Ji why he was back so early today. Qin Ji gently tapped Junlingyi's forehead, telling her that he missed her. Junlingyi thought Qin Ji was just acting. She then told Jun Ziao that she was fine and urged him to go back quickly. After all, her second brother was single-minded, and it would be troublesome if he clashed with Qin Ji. Jun Ziao only wanted Junlingyi to be happy. He told Junlingyi that he couldn't stay in the capital for long and would be returning to Yunqing in a few days. He wanted to invite Junlingyi to a small gathering at Zuichun Garden tomorrow as a farewell for himself. Junlingyi looked at Qin Ji, asking for his opinion. In the study, Lu Weichen heard that Qin Ji was finally willing to let Junlingyi go out. These past few days, Qin Ji had found many physicians. They all said there was nothing wrong with Junlingyi, that she was just a little weak after recovering from a cold. Perhaps they had overthought it. Her illness wasn't serious. Perhaps it was just that Bai Russian cared too much about her. Hearing this, Qin Ji coldly warned Lu Weichen. Lu Weichen then realized he had misspoken. He quickly told Qin Ji not to worry about Bai Russian. Bai Russian was already prepared to give up. He had even seen him on a blind date today. He probably wouldn't try to snatch Junlingyi from Qin Ji anymore. But Qin Ji was convinced that Junlingyi couldn't be snatched away. Lu Weichen quickly agreed that Qin Ji was right. Even if Bai Russian tried, he couldn't take Junlingyi. But speaking of which, he also found it strange. He didn't expect Bai Russian to go down the path of blind dates. It said that the matchmaker was even Qin Ji's younger brother-in-law. He curiously asked Qin Ji where Junlingyi went today. Qin Ji's heart trembled. The ink even smudged the white paper. He put down his brush and walked quickly out the door. In Zuichun Garden, Junlingyi, Bai Russian, and Jun Ziao were sitting at the dining table. Seeing Bai Russian, Junlingyi was also surprised. It was supposed to be a farewell banquet, so she thought Jun Ziao had only invited her. She didn't expect to run into Bai Russian. However, the scene made Junlingyi feel a bit strange. Jun Ziao was the first to break the quiet atmosphere. Knowing that Junlingyi and Bai Russian were old acquaintances, he said that made things much more convenient. Junlingyi wondered what was much more convenient, but Jun Ziao didn't say any more. He told Junlingyi to hurry up and eat, then pour Bai Russian a full glass of wine. Smelling such fragrant wine, Junlingyi also felt a craving. Bai Russian mentioned that Junlingyi had just recovered from a cold and shouldn't drink. Junlingyi was a little disappointed. She had also promised to quit drinking, so she shouldn't be greedy for a glass. Seeing Junlingyi's disappointment, Bai Russian was a bit helpless. In the end, he couldn't bear it and poured Junlingyi half a glass of wine. Junlingyi happily took it. Seeing the warm interaction between the two, Jun Ziao thought to himself that they were indeed a perfect match. How could Qin Ji be worthy of his sister? It had to be Bai Russian. So, Jun Ziao toasted Bai Russian. His sister was young and had entrusted herself to the wrong person. He was about to return to Yunqing, so he could only entrust Junlingyi to Bai Russian. He asked Bai Russian to please take good care of Junlingyi. Hearing this, Junlingyi spat out the wine in her mouth and couldn't stop coughing. Jun Ziao quickly patted Junlingyi's back. Junlingyi walked towards the door, telling Jun Ziao she was going to freshen up. Once outside, Junlingyi clutched her racing heart. She was truly startled. A perfectly good farewell banquet had turned into a matchmaking banquet, and the other party was Bai Russian. If the prince found out about this, it would be a disaster. Before she could finish her thought, a pair of familiar feet appeared before Junlingyi. She looked up and saw it was Qin Ji. Seeing Junlingyi, Qin Ji pulled her in and kissed her. He asked if she had been drinking. Junlingyi honestly confessed that she only had half a glass. Then, Qin Ji pressed Junlingyi against the wall and continued to kiss her. Junlingyi couldn't push him away no matter how she tried. The sound of a wine glass falling startled them. They turned to see it was Bai Russian. Jun Ziao, not knowing what had happened, also came out in concern. The four of them stared at each other. Qin Ji picked Junlingyi up, wanted to take her back. Junlingyi wanted to argue, but seeing the look in Qin Ji's eyes, Junlingyi had no choice but to pretend to be drunk and collapsed into Qin Ji's arms. Qin Ji carried Junlingyi to the carriage. Upstairs, Lu Weichen covered Mu Yan's eyes, telling her not to look at this improper scene. But Mu Yan was unwilling. She didn't understand why Lu Weichen didn't cover his own eyes. Lu Weichen wanted to argue, but was seen through by Mu Yan. He then lied to Mu Yan, saying he had given the chance to cover her eyes to her, so he could only keep his own eyes tightly shut the whole time. Only after Qin Ji left did Lu Weichen let go of Mu Yan. Mu Yan curiously asked Lu Weichen where Qin Ji and the others went. Lu Weichen told Mu Yan they left in a carriage. Mu Yin felt that Lu Wei-chun was definitely lying to her. He must have opened his eyes and looked. Inside the carriage, Qin Ji was concerned that Jun Lingyi hadn't fully recovered from her cold, yet she was drinking. He asked her how much she drank. Jun Lingyi told Qin Ji that she didn't even have half a glass. Afraid Qin Ji wouldn't believe her, she even let him smell. Qin Ji thought that when they got back, he must have the imperial physician make sobering soup. Lingyi thought to herself that she would drink whatever he gave her. As long as it didn't make Qin Ji angry, anything was fine. The carriage suddenly jolted, and Qin Ji and Jun Lingyi bumped into each other. Qin Ji caringly touched Jun Lingyi's head, asking if she was okay. Jun Lingyi felt that Qin Ji was simply too considerate. Being a freeloader by his side, she was about to become completely unable to care for herself. But Qin Ji felt that with him around. So what if she couldn't take care of herself? Jun Lingyi was charmed once again. She shyly turned her head away, thinking that Qin Ji was truly a natural-born master of flirting, charming people without even knowing it. Seeing Jun Lingyi turn her head, Qin Ji thought he had hurt her. Jun Lingyi told Qin Ji that she wasn't hurt. If Qin Ji weren't gay, she would definitely consider pursuing him. Qin Ji was confused again. What was gay? Why is it that if he weren't gay, she would then pursue him? Could it be that precisely because I am gay, she doesn't pursue me, but can sit by my side like this? Jun Lingyi was getting a little sleepy. Qin Ji pulled her over, letting her sleep for a while. They were still some distance from the prince's mansion. Jun Lingyi obediently leaned on Qin Ji's shoulder, unaware that at this moment, Qin Ji was thinking to himself that being gay was quite good. If he were always gay, then Jun Lingyi could always sit by his side. Late at night, Jun Rohui left her mansion to meet with Chen Zhongying. She threw herself into Chen Zhongying's arms, feeling wronged. She complained that the servant who ruined Jun Lingyi's embroidery had turned on her. His son had been rescued, and Ninghe Xuan was also dead. Now, several groups of people were targeting her, and she didn't know what to do. Chen Zhongying sat to the side, sipping tea. He told Jun Rohui that since she was already exposed, wouldn't coming to find him now expose her even more? Jun Rohui took off her clothes and told Chen Zhongying that she knew he, like her, wanted to deal with Jun Lingyi. She wrapped her arms around Chen Zhongying's neck, sat on his lap, and seduced him, saying that as long as they joined forces, they could definitely ruin Jun Lingyi's reputation completely. Chen Zhongying was curious about Jun Rohui's proposal. He lifted Jun Rohui's chin and gazed at her.